Hi, and welcome to ConTessa's event, The City of Danger, a D&D 5e event. I'm Sarah. I'm going to be the GM today. And with me, I have some pretty awesome players, I imagine. So just to go over a few things before we get started. We're probably going to run 2 of the mini adventures from the module. So if you're planning on playing this at some time, you may not want to watch. And I hope that you have been enjoying all the other ConTessa events. This is supposed to last for about 4 hours. And so, first of all, let's meet our party. If everybody wants to introduce themselves and their character, why don't we start with Miles?
Miles Davis. I am playing Xian Lung, a berserker, which is an old edition Drunken Master reinterpreted for 5th edition.
Excellent. All right. And next, Amanda.
Hello.
Hey! Hey, Ben. We are introducing ourselves. After I'm done, I will come to you, and we will get you set up and ready to play.
Perfect. Sorry I missed the thing. I was like waiting on the page for the event, and I was like, I should probably install like the Hangout app on my Chrome, and then I did, and I was like, oh, I have a message. Weird.
No worries. All right. Amanda, tell us who you're playing.
Okay, my name is Amanda Searle, and I am playing Anath Alkavethi, a Goliath fighter.
I may need you to spell your name.
A-N-O-T-H. Last name A-L-K-A-V-E-T-H-I.
Excellent. Thank you. And you are our Goliath fighter.
Goliath fighter.
Awesome. Chris, tell us about your character.
My character is a Fire Ganassi wizard. His name is Uzara Sen. That's Uzara/Sin.
Awesome. Kyle?
Hi, I'm Kyle Chenier. I'm going to be playing Luku, the water genasi cleric.
Nice. Philip?
Hi, my name is Philip Posey. I run the channel Maps and Dragons on YouTube, and today I will be playing the character named Jet, the air Ganassi fighter, the archer.
Excellent. Archers are always important. Now, Ben, the only thing you've missed is I mentioned that if you want to roll physical dice or use the die roller, either of those is great.
Okay.
We're going to go for about 4 hours, and we'll probably take a break.
Okay, nifty.
Now, I know you made a bard. Do you have a name for your bard yet?
Yes, I am Mara of Stonewall, the Tiefling Bard.
Excellent. Much excellent. All right.
Gotta get that support class in there.
Yeah. Always, bards are great. I didn't think that till I played one in 5e, so now I've seen the light. I'm going to go over just a couple of little bitty mechanics things. And like I said, you can always stop me and ask me if you have questions. So whenever we get into combat, I'm going to ask you guys to do group initiative because that's what I like to do. So both sides will roll a d20. Higher goes first, and you guys can go down the line and do your action as works in the fiction and as you want to take your turn. Now, once we're in the action, you have a couple of choices of what you can do in a round. You can attack with your weapons or your magic, or anything handy laying about that you want to throw at somebody. You can cast a spell. You can dash, which instead of attacking, that means you're basically running at double your speed, either to or away from an enemy to get to somewhere. You can dodge. So if someone is, has a hail of arrows coming down on them, they might choose to dodge from the arrows rather than attack. You can both grapple someone, and grappling someone means you're either trying to hold them in place or bodily move them somewhere else. And if someone grapples you, you can escape from a grapple as well. You can help the other players. If somebody's like, I really need someone to distract this guy while I get behind him and then push him so he goes flying over me and over the edge of the tower, that would be helping. You can hide. So if you're face-to-face with another combatant, you might not be able to hide, of course. But if everybody's engaged and say you're being sneaky and want to try a backstab, you can sneak around the edges of the combat to get behind somebody else. Improvise. Please be creative. Try stuff. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we're here to have fun. You can shove creatures, and you can ready an action. So, for example, if your archer wants to ready their bow for whenever the goblins get into range, you can do that. You can search for stuff. I'll probably make you do a check, but you can always look at stuff. You can stabilize the dying. If one of your friends is in a lot of trouble, you can stop them from dying. And you can always use an object like drink a potion or anything like that. Does all that sound pretty good?
It does. I noticed
Sounds
on my
great.
sheet that I don't have a healer's kit. Would there have been any way I could have picked up one before we started the adventure?
Well, you're the fighter. Let's see. Does anybody have a healer's kit? Out of curiosity. No?
It's funny, I'm a cleric, and I actually don't think I have one.
I feel like it's an important item.
Pre-gens, so I'll allow you a healer's kit.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Have a little over your dying body.
And if the cleric wants one as well, does anyone else have any? Because you have a healer background, oh cleric.
I do.
With your priest pack.
See, funnily enough, in the priest pack, no healer's kit. But yeah, I do have 10 gold, so I should be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
Pretty handily.
I'm like a
Yeah.
Richie Rich. I can afford one.
I have no problem with that. Does anyone else have any last-minute requests?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see, where was I? I think that is probably,
I had a quick question.
yeah.
So, when we're doing combat, how do you like to play it? Do you like us to roleplay what our combat is, do it cinematically, or just to roll dice and give you damage? How do you like to proceed?
Oh, I definitely would prefer that you guys have fun with it. If you're comfortable describing it in a cinematic or any kind of creative way, please do so. And then the dice will just tell us whether or not you succeed at what you're trying to do.
Cool.
If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. Awesome. All right, I think that is probably most things, and then if we run into stuff as we go. Now, your group, you do all know each other.
Nifty.
You have been traveling together for a while, so you're familiar with each other's quirks, how you like to interact in battle, and all of you have decided to travel to the city of Mulmaster. Now, this city is on the edge of the Moonsea, and you've heard rumors that it's very harsh there. But you decided to go and check it out because you are always ready for some adventure. Now, you've been there for a few days, and the rumors you've heard about the harshness of the city, you thought maybe were exaggerated, but now that you've been there, you see that the rumors are completely accurate. The sorry, I've been talking all day in case you can't tell. All right. The citizenry of Mulmaster is openly hostile, very unfriendly whenever you approach them. The City Watch is little more than licensed bullies, and the merchants are only as friendly as the coins that you offer. When it looked like you might have to leave the city because you couldn't find any employment or anywhere to stay even, Timora's fortunate gaze fell upon you. A wealthy merchant named Astrid Saj, looking for a way to gain a noble title for her house, decided to hold a party at her estate. This celebration, open to all, is planned to last for a full 10 days, and all of the social classes of the city are free to partake of the food, drink, and entertainment. A number of temporary servants have been hired to act as guards, servers, bouncers, entertainers, cooks, spies, or other positions. With little money and fewer prospects, you find yourself in Mistress Saj's employ. She has proven herself a generous employer and has provided you with food, lodging, and some coin for your efforts. More importantly, you are getting the opportunity to mingle with the citizens of Mulmaster, from the wealthiest nobles to the lowliest beggars. Certainly some adventuring work will come from this. Now, your employment was negotiated by this halfling named Saul. He is probably the friendliest person you've met in Mulmaster so far. And when hiring you, he was pretty easygoing and happy to allow you guys to dictate your own positions as long as a position was open. So anybody have any requests for what their jobs are?
At the party?
At the party.
I guess I'll be a musician since I'm a musician.
You do seem like a pretty obvious entertainer.
Bartender.
I feel like I bounce people.
You want to be a bouncer? Awesome. Now our barbarian wants to be a bartender. So Saul did kind of give you a side eye a little bit, like he's afraid you might drink a little bit more than you serve. But he's willing to give you a try for the first couple of days. If it doesn't work out, he might move you over to bouncer. How about our wizard?
I'll try and do something out of the way, maybe back in the kitchen or something, because my family's from here, and I don't think I want anyone to recognize me as a caterer.
Cook it is.
All right.
And it's also good you guys have someone local.
Yeah.
Now, how about you last two?
I'm actually also from Mulmaster originally.
Cool.
So, I think I might also do some cooking as well. Sort of keep people topped up on sort of non-alcoholic refreshments and things. Sort of, bring that water jug around.
Okay.
So my character is actually a noble of a very prestigious house. And I'm just wondering why this woman isn't trying to court him to become a noble. So, I guess I'll take upon bouncer since I am a fighter, but it seems beneath my dignity. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you conceal your birth, or are you open about it?
Well, it says that I'm quite flamboyant in my apparel, so I don't feel like he's the kind of person who hides from danger or from who he is.
In that case, you can be a bouncer if you want, but Saul gave you a much friendlier look than he gave the barbarian, and asked if you'd be willing to be a spy.
Yes, I would love to mingle with the people and get their stories.
Excellent. So what this tells us is that you guys are going to be in different parts of her house and not mingling with the same people. So you've actually got a pretty good strategy going on. I'm going to have our spy kind of hang out with the bartender. The bouncer will keep an eye on both the bartender as well as our bard to make sure that everything is going smoothly. And our cooks in the back, I bet you're going to make friends with some of the other servants.
Sounds good.
And Saul mentions he definitely is interested to make sure that everyone is doing their job well. So if you see any, things suspicious in back of house as well, he wants to hear about it. Pardon me. So you basically have free reign of this lavish mansion, even though you all have your jobs to do. And everything is bustling around with preparations for the party. The other entertainers are practicing. The cooks are sweating as they turn the spits that are filled with roast animals. They're baking pies. There are even little children underfoot running back and forth, carrying goods from one servant to the next. The entire house is just full to bursting. And everywhere in the city below, people are buzzing, talking about Mistress Saj's party. They know that she has a lot of ambition, and she would one day perhaps like to be part of the ruling class of the city, which is called the Blades. And this seems to be a pretty obvious bid for goodwill for whenever she makes that move. All of you settle into your roles pretty nicely, and the first day of the party rolls around. It starts out very peacefully, with only a disorderly drunk that your bouncer has to eject, or an unskilled pickpocket causing a stir. But that's why it's surprising that the loudest and most violent confrontation of the day didn't involve any of the people let into the party. It was actually two of the servants. One of the seamstresses, a young woman called Benessy, surprised everyone by brutally attacking a stable hand named Larch, who was later escorted home by the city watch, bruised in body and ego.
Oh no, Larch.
Now, none of you had spent a lot of time in the stables, but you have seen Benessy around. And I'm going to put her name in the chat so you guys can see how it's spelled. You'd seen her around, and she always seemed kind of standoffish, but you didn't know her very well. So as your shift ends, you're approached by a man whose crooked staff and brooch identify him as a member of the Cloaks. They are the organization that any citizen practicing arcane magic in Mulmaster must join. And, of course, that means that, I'm going to say your name wrong, Uzra-Sin? I can't read my own handwriting.
That's fine.
Uzara-Sin, now I can read it, is probably the most familiar with. I am told that you witnessed an attack on my brother earlier today, the man says. Perhaps you could explain why he hasn't made it home yet.
He's addressing this to me?
He has found all of you gathered together at the end of your shift. And he's approached you all, saying, I've heard that you have skills, and that you're working here, and you heard about the attack on the stable hand Larch today. He's my brother, and he hasn't made it home.
It's perhaps because the city watches some of the most corrupt people here in Mulmaster.
He draws himself up a little bit. I am a member of the Cloaks. They would not dare mess with us.
Well, buddy, it seems they did.
Well, tell me this. Do you know anything of the woman which he had a tiff with? And I take my hat and I adjust it a little bit. I don't know, he had a tiff. Did they have a relationship of some sort? Do you know?
I am not familiar with this young woman, but I do know that as a member of the Cloaks, some common people, they do view me as the enemy. Perhaps her problem is with me and not my brother at all.
Well, then it seems odd that she would have attacked him with you nowhere to be found.
I would definitely start with her. If you would be so kind as to take on this task and find my brother, I would be willing to pay you.
It means we got a job.
I'm sorry, good sir, but what was your name?
My name is Nevlon Dewan.
Gesundheit.
Mm-hmm.
So the man's name is Larch Dewan.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Nevblon. Sounds like some sort of brand of clothing.
Have one to one.
And about how tall is this man?
So the man you're talking to is of about 30 years of age. He has a long dark mustache and close cropped black hair. His clothes are well made, but definitely seem to scream magic user to you.
Ooh.
Well, what strikes me as odd is that you seem to be from an arcane persuasion. However, none of your magical means is able to locate your brother. Why should we have any more success than someone of such abilities as you and your confreres?
I am actually on important cloak business and don't have the time to spare to search for my fool brother. He's a simple but kind lad. He has aspirations to be a fighter someday. So I'm really just afraid that perhaps his ego was bruised from this interaction with this young woman, and he went off and found more trouble, and I would rather pay you to deal with it than take the time out of my own day.
When he's upset, where does he normally go?
Well, he lives at home with our parents, which I admit is kind of sad at his age. But other than home and work, I don't believe he hangs out very many places at all.
Not a local tavern, not a friend, but a lonely
I was about to
existence.
say, this large guy's probably like, I saw him. He's a pretty good-looking guy. I mean, I can imagine like after getting kind of beat up like that, he's gonna want to try and grab a drink, and head someplace.
Well, the closest tavern to my parents' house is the Black Blade. I would definitely suggest trying the woman first. Otherwise, perhaps the Black Blade might be the place to go.
Well,
there
we
are
don't
so
really
many of
have
them.
any lead.
Sorry?
I feel like there are so many of us, we could check them both at once.
And if you guys want to split the party, you can.
Now tell
Those
me,
words never end well.
do we know, does Moonsea have any friends here, the seamstress? Are there more seamstresses here that we could talk to, perhaps about her whereabouts? Or has anyone seen them or why they got into the conflict? Does anyone know?
So the two people who are working back of house as the cooks, you have seen women walking by with piles of cloth and sewing implements, muttering to each other about how busy they are. So you have an idea of where the seamstresses would be.
We can show you where they are.
Now, Nevlin stands up and he tosses a pouch onto the table in front of you, and it clinks heavily with gold. It's trimmed with fur and is pretty nice. He says, "There is another 50 gold pieces for you if you can bring my brother back safely to my family's estate at the edge of the city."
Do we get to keep the pouch too?
Yes.
What about if he's, just a matter of happenstance? What if he's not so okay?
If you bring my brother's body back, there will still be no reward for you.
Okay. Will there be more of a reward? Do you maybe you don't have the best relationship with your brother and you want that we could see that maybe something would occur to him,
Nevlin's face draws down into a scowl,
Oh no.
and he tells you,
I'm only messing with you, friend. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure he's safe.
"Bring my brother back safe, and there's an extra 50 gold for each of you." Maybe not you. And he gestures at Mara. With that, he stands up, adjusts his cloak, and says, "I am sure that you will find my brother, and I will see you when you bring him to our house."
Can we get a description of your brother, just so, I don't know, out of character or whatever, just so we know what he looks like?
It's a fantastic question. Because they don't give me one. Just double checking to make sure they didn't, because I don't think they did. So he is 18 years old, kind of gangly, pretty tall. He has mousy brown hair, and he has a little tiny birthmark on like the corner of his jaw.
Okay.
And he's
know,
probably
which-
kind of bruised up from his interaction with the seamstress. But yeah.
Do we know which direction he left this estate?
Well, you mean, do you know where the estate is?
I suspect it's here at the party, but is that not where he left from?
Oh, yeah, he left from the party, and the City Watch escorted him in the direction of his family's estate.
Hmm.
And we know which direction that is.
That's to the north.
And it was the City Watch who left him last.
Yep, that's what everybody at the party is saying.
And it was guards that were at the party.
Yeah, there's some City Watch there providing security.
Yeah, I think we should talk to them too.
Right. Do we want to go check out the seamstresses first? See if we can track down Bennessy? Find out what her deal
Well,
is?
if she's still here, we might as well go talk to her while we're here, and then maybe go talk to his parents, see if they've heard anything, and then check out this blade.
You see,
Bar place.
I think we should actually not talk to the seamstress first. I think we should talk to one of the people who work with her, get a scoop
Right.
of who she is and what they observed, and then talk to her and compare stories.
Okay.
So you guys want to head over to the area of
Oh,
the
Chris, you're
entrance?
muted.
What I was going to say is I'm in the back of the house. So, and you said the seamstresses and all of that was sort of in the back of the house, and there was some back and forth, people in and out.
Mhm.
So maybe since I'm a familiar face, I should go and chat with the seamstresses and see what happened.
But
Or
I'm
make them
devilishly
respond.
handsome, so maybe I should.
I don't know. Maybe they would be distracted by your devilish handsomeness and might make up lies just to keep you in their presence a little bit longer.
Well, here's my thing. I always think everyone's lying to me, so don't worry.
You guys tell me what you want to do.
We're going to check out the seamstresses, right?
Yeah, to the first.
Okay. So the two cooks lead you, or the two players working as cooks, lead you into the back of the house. This is actually even more sprawling than the outer quarters where everybody is allowed. However, the hallways are much more narrow, and it smells faintly of boiled cabbages back here. You do come into a pretty good-sized room with very large windows. It has fantastic light, and it smells a little bit less of cabbage in here and a little bit more like rotting cloth and dust.
When we look out the window, what do we see?
Well, you're not quite there yet. Don't worry. Inside are two women. One of them is a short, stout woman with long brown hair. You're pretty sure she's Bennessy. You've seen her before. She has struck the two of you who work in back of house, Zara and Luhu. Pardon me.
It's okay.
Is it Luku or Luhu?
I think it's Luku.
Luku, yeah.
Luku, yeah.
Have you guys have noticed she seems pretty angry most of the time? And she is in the corner, muttering as she works on a cloak. Closer to the door is a younger girl. You two remember, you think her name is Victoria. She has curly brown hair, and she looks up and smiles at you. She's hemming a skirt. The rest of the room is empty, but there are bolts of cloth everywhere and tables with chairs for people to work. If you do look outside the windows, you'll see actually the wall of another building, and that there are carefully placed sheets of steel that reflect more light into the room.
Does the window have a latch that opens?
The windows do not open, no.
Can we hear what she's like? You said she was mumbling about something. Can we hear anything before we enter the room?
No, she's mumbling to herself. You can just hear
Okay.
the cadence of words, and she's kind of hunched up. It is the
Is she, like,
angriest sewing you've
okay,
ever seen.
Okay, so she's frustrated about something.
You might guess
Obviously.
that.
Obviously, the altercation earlier did not relieve her stress or whatever.
So what do you guys want to do?
I say, Jet, now is the time for your charm and your amazing grace, because I'm not so much with the charisma.
So I walked in. There is a what I see is like a little red cloth in the swamp, and I pick it up, and I do like a little wave, like a flag, and then I bow down in front of them, and I introduce myself. I say, "Hello, my name is Jet Sippy Arwell Delavine, and I have a couple questions for you today."
Oh my
And
God.
I walk over there, and I let the cloth fall, like my footstep falls as I walk towards them. And I go and I stand next to the short, stout one, seamstress. She seems angry, upset, maybe perhaps a scowl in her eye. I want to smile down at her kindly, very gently, and say, "Hello, my name's Chad. What seems to be the trouble today?"
She scowls at you, while the other seamstress, Victoria, is grinning like she has never seen anything as delightful as you before.
I get that.
But Bennessy scowls at you
Yes.
and points at the cloth you dropped and says, "You know, we have to account for that."
I say, because you have to pay a cost for it. Is that the reason?
Yes, this is part of my job, to keep everything neat and tidy and not having, she looks you up and down, flamboyant nobles come in and mess up my work. What are you doing in here, sir?
I'm here because a gentleman of great compassion and concern about his brother. And I kind of lower myself down a little bit, and I look her in the eyes. And I see perhaps she's not all meanness. And I say to her, he's very concerned about his brother. And he asked me if I could check on about his whereabouts. Earlier today, he got into an argument. And I kind of run a finger over my eyebrow and say, with a seamstress. And I'm trying to understand what happened. Can you help me?
All right. You, sir, need to make a charisma check.
No, sure.
So he's going to roll a d20 and add his
So that's a
charisma.
19 plus 2 for a 21.
All right, and he's going to fucking kill that charisma check. All right.
Does she blush a little?
Yes. She does have a rather pale complexion, so it shows up nicely. And Victoria titters from the front of the room where she's obviously listening to you guys. She puts down her sewing, and her face softens a little. I did get into a fight with that boy, but I had a good reason. You see, my sister was tested and found to be very adept at magic, and the cloaks wanted her to join. But she would hear of no such thing, and there was an accident, and she was robbed and she died. But she wouldn't have been in that part of town if it wasn't for the cloaks. It's their fault. And so my brothers, and she stops talking, and you get a sense that she might be looking for reassurance. And she looks over at the crowd of your friends gathered by the door.
We all duck behind the door frame and then like just peek up.
I step forward and I say, I saw that tiff that you had with him, yeah? Yeah, he was a jerk. You were right to punch him in the face. I hope your hand is okay. He's got like big cheekbones.
She kind of smiles a little and does glance down at her hand. You can see that her knuckles are scraped. She gave as good as she got. And so she takes a deep breath. We thought that since we lost a member of our family, my brothers and I, that perhaps the cloaks needed to know how it felt too. We found this man. I don't know him very well, but he came to us. His name is Proskler, and he said he could help us. So he came up with this plan, and so my brothers have taken the boy to the city watchtower near the shrine of Talos, the god of storms, and I do fear they mean to kill him.
Okay then, we need
Your
to get
face,
over there.
man, your face. Sorry, somebody looked very surprised.
No. Well, we thank her and say, you've done nothing wrong except for that totally wrong thing that you did. But, we're going to make our way real quick.
I would like to walk over and pick up that red piece of cloth that I dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I pick it up and I fold it down. And I pick up her hand and I wrap it with the red cloth. And I pat her hand and I look her in the eyes and say, Thank you for telling me. We'll see that no real harm comes to the boy. Please don't worry about this.
Thank you, and please make sure my brothers don't do anything they'll regret later.
And as my hand sweeps back and like my cape is withdrawn, and like the shimmer of my rapier just kind of gleams in the light from the window, and I look her in the eye and say, "I'm sure your brothers will not be any trouble."
That's not threatening at all.
Out of it, I really want to like knock her out and leave her for the watch, because what she did is like, it's murder too, guys. It was pre-planned murder, but
Except for the watch is just as bad.
yeah, the watch is like evil. And then I also wrote down that my character distrusts authority, so she wouldn't ever like leave someone for the watch. But like, geez, that's annoying. Okay.
Yeah, so we know where this Shrine of Talos is, right?
Yes, you do. Especially those of you from the city. You're familiar enough with the layout.
Let's put some feet to the ground.
Okay. Let's see. So it's on the western side of the city, near the Storm Gate. The Watchtower where Benessy's brothers are stationed and where they took the boy looks like most of the other towers set into the walls surrounding Mulmaster. It is roughly 20 feet tall, providing access to the top of the city wall. A single door leads from the tower from this side of the wall, leads into the tower from this side of the wall. As you approach, a strong gust of wind hits you, nearly knocking all of you, except for our air genasi, off your feet.
Does it seem like a message from home?
So why don't you guys give me a DC check on your wisdom? You can use either Arcana or Nature. So you're going to roll a D20, and then under your skills, you'll see Arcana listed and Nature, and that will tell you what your bonus is. So let me know. Huh?
18.
Okay.
I have a 16.
Uzara, you got a 16?
No, I got a 25.
25.
Yeah.
And yeah, putting your answers in the chat is fantastic.
There you go.
I have 5, so I'm like looking at the ground, being like, "Those are some cool puddles."
Yeah, you're like, man, I hate wind that nearly sweeps me off my feet. Let me stare at the ground.
Wind gets everywhere, and it's rough, and I can't remember the rest of it.
Silly wind. What about you, Amanda?
I got a 15.
Okay. So everybody except for Kyle, Miles, Kyle and Miles, you do get the sense that the wind is not natural, and you can tell that it came from the tower, like something sent it. So what do you guys want to do?
I would like to look around and see if there's another access point to get to the top of the wall besides the tower itself.
Well, whenever you study the tower carefully, there is only the one door in. The surface is pretty rough, but other than that, there are no windows that are big enough for you to squeeze through.
Understood, but the wall itself, does it have a walkway?
Nope.
No. Just how thick is the wall?
Let's say it is about 5 feet thick.
Perfect. From the other side of the city, is there another access point to get to the top of the walls, another tower?
There are multiple towers, yes.
Excellent. I think that we should access one of those towers that might not be defended and then sneak into this tower. It seems as if someone already knows that we're coming. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
Just so you guys know, each of the towers, they are guard towers, and so they always have at least a couple of guards inside. And that is pretty common knowledge.
Adventurer business, stand aside.
But you guys figure out what you want to do. That's just a little bit more information to help you decide.
So, like, the walls are just, like, they don't have a pathway for walking along the top of the wall, you said? They're just, like, I'm guessing, like, bricks or something?
Yeah, they're just bricks.
Okay, so we'd have to, like, scramble across the top of, like, the crenellations in, like, high wind, which I'm not
It's 5 feet
particularly
wide.
fond of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can hear the wind. Even though it's not hitting you right now, you can hear it howling around the tower.
I'm at home with the wind. I'm comfortable with this.
And it looks like there's like on the sort of floor level, it looks like there's just the one entrance.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having been in the watch, would I know that they're like were the guard towers locked and you required like a password to get in, or?
You would in fact know that. They would expect people to only show up at certain times in order to relieve them. And there's always a password that changes every couple of days.
Okay.
At the tower, is there a window up top?
There are small slits. They're more for arrows. They're more murder holes than windows.
At the very top of it, is there like a deck on top, or does it just come up to a spire?
No, the top is flat with crenellations around it, so there is like a low half wall. But it's meant for people to stand up there and be able to see out over the outside of the city as well as the inside.
Well, I come to my companions, I gather them around, do a little huddle. I tell them about my people and about the innate spell properties of my blood, and that if they could cause a small distraction, I should be able to levitate myself up to the top of the wall and gain access.
Wait, you're a genasi too? I just saw you had like really awesome hair. Okay, yeah, no, I'm totally down with that plan. I got distractions for days. Actually, I think the wizard is probably better at distractions.
Isn't that kind of like, because you'll be at the top of the tower and you'll need to get down to the bottom of it to open the door?
But yes, that's true.
Yeah, so you'd have to like, go, you just interrupt like the guy's planning to murder them and be, I'll be right back, guys. Just give me 1 sec here.
Well, hopefully the idea is that you draw them out.
Okay.
And then I come in.
And if we can draw them out and distract them enough, like we could probably slip in as well. That way, like you're going down from the top of the tower, and we're all sort of coming up.
And we'll meet in the middle, perhaps.
If all goes to plan.
And I laugh. I look up at the sun. Why wouldn't it?
I feel like that was pointed at me, and I'm just gonna ignore it. So do you guys have your plan?
You need a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything outside that I could create a bonfire on?
Is there fireworks, like a wagon of fireworks?
No, you're not quite that lucky. All that surrounds the tower, it does overlook the Shrine of Talos, and there are homes nearby. So they're not too close to the wall or the tower, but close enough that if you guys start yelling and stuff, people will hear you. Or if you set a fire, I'm not going to guarantee that those houses aren't going to burn.
That seems pretty evil.
I mean, you guys are welcome to try and burn down the city. That's one way of
Well, this is my
finishing the
city,
adventure.
so I'm not going to do that.
Is it almost time for a watch change?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone else in the party who looks like they possibly could be stout and fighting-ish?
I have a disguise kit.
Miles' character is like super buff.
Yeah, pretty stout and fighty-ish,
Okay.
but haggard and kind of messed up looking.
So we can approach the door and knock on it, and when they start asking for the passwords, have someone like be making a lot of noise, so that every time we say anything, you can't actually hear what we're saying.
Sure.
It'll open the door.
I love this plan.
This,
Are there-
what could ever go wrong
Are
with
there
this plan?
perhaps
It's the best
guards
plan.
waiting outside of the door, looking for that we can see? Or
Nope.
are they just inside?
They're all inside.
Perfect. Why don't you guys set up like some caltrops outside the door so when they walk, it's a bit of difficult terrain. Perhaps tie a string so they trip, and perhaps have some barrels to roll at them.
I don't have any of that.
Actually, I'm looking through my inventory and I'm like, I have. If we wanted to like dress up as Talos worshippers, I could make that happen. But aside from that, I got like nothing.
I have a bottle of hooch that I stole.
If anyone has rope, we'll totally use it.
Well, I can trip them with the halberd.
Hey!
I can be very clumsy as they walk out.
So it sounds like you guys have something you want to try. Do you want to walk up to the door?
I would first. I want to get in position. I want to move to the side of the wall, and not directly in position, not right against the wall where the tower goes up, but perhaps the wall about 10 feet away, and then move up to the side of the wall, get on the side, and then I want to move to the end of the tower. Perhaps I won't be able to do it all in one turn, but I don't think people will be so apt to see me with the party.
So are you talking about the way you're walking?
Yes, like I want to walk to the wall, not to the front of the door.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast the levitate to bring myself up to the top of the wall and then walk across.
Okay, we will get to your spell in a moment.
All right,
Does anybody else want to do anything?
I could play a song of derision about the watch. Like a protest song about how the watch is so corrupt and they're no better than the thieves that they arrest.
That's an amazing idea. You
Hey,
should do that.
if you want to do that, what time of day is it?
It's towards evening.
Okay, so if you want to do that, I can use dancing lights to make it look like there's some guys with torches that are out there singing and taunting them.
Cool.
Hey.
Put them a little bit further away from the tower, and they might think that there's actually people there.
Okay. So the bard begins tuning their lute, I think it is.
Yeah, I have a lyre.
Lyre. And your wizard is deep in concentration for spells. Jet has wandered off on his own, and so that leaves us with Anoth and Senglun. You're walking to the door, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you knock on it?
I kind of start pounding like because there's this mob outside that are like very anti-watch.
Excellent. All right. So
I'd
you
like to get inside as quickly as possible.
you pound on that door,
There's
and
a
the door
riot.
swings open. It is dark inside, and you hear nobody coming to respond.
Okay, that's probably. I figured it was weird that the people were in there without any watch knowing, because it didn't sound like they were part of the watch or anything. So yeah, I guess it's kind of an abandoned tower.
So, do you guys want to go inside?
Sure, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's nothing terrible in there whatsoever.
Yeah.
Why would there be anything awful in there?
I'm not scared of a watchtower. It's probably stationed here.
I laugh in the face of watchtowers.
All right. There is enough light inside for you to see It's just dimmer than it is outside. The inside of the tower is sparsely furnished. The space is divided into a couple of holding cells as well as places for guards to rest, storage lockers for weapons and armor, and other places for the official City Watch business to be carried out. Anoth, you're really familiar with the layout, and you can see at a glance, yeah, you may have been stationed here. I mean, totally familiar. So at first glance, you see no one in the room, but then you notice two figures, both wearing City Watch uniforms, unconscious on the floor. They appear to have been struck on the head, but their injuries are not life-threatening. Along the interior of the tower, two curving staircases ascend to a pair of trapdoors in the ceiling. These provide access to the top of the tower, which opens onto, or to the top of the tower, the open space I told you about. So yeah, that's what you find inside.
Do these gentlemen happen to look like the short, brown-haired, scowling seamstress?
One of them is blonde and tall, and the other one's an elf, so no.
Do they have any money?
Let's see.
Like, I'm not a pickpocket, but I don't like authority. So if they're gonna give me money, I might as well have my fill.
They are indeed unconscious, and as the rest of the party looks on, you find 3 silver pieces on one and 6 on the other.
Cool. You guys want any of this?
Now, what's your alignment? No, I'm joking.
I'm chaotic good, so I'm not a pickpocket, but I don't like the watch or like authority at all. So
They are jerks,
money.
man. They're total
Okay.
jerks.
So I'm guessing we
Yeah.
want to get up to that trapdoor. We want to go all the way up there.
You should totally split the party and go up both sides. Whatever you guys want to do.
Am I able to cast my spell and go up to the side of the wall now?
Okay, so you're still outside.
Okay.
You begin to rise, light as a feather. You can feel the air accepting you as it always does. And you get about 10 feet up before you drop to the ground like a stone.
Ooh.
I want to investigate and see what has possibly hampered my ability to arise.
Okay, let me go back to that part. So go ahead and give me another wisdom check.
So that's 15.
Okay. You could tell what it felt like to you was like you were communing with the wind the way you always do, and someone yelled louder and got in between the conversation you were having with the air. And the air decided to listen to them instead. And that's why you dropped.
I see. Looking around me, do I see anyone in a gray cloak?
That's really specific. I'm tempted to say the entire city wears gray, but I won't be mean. There is nobody that seems to be paying specific attention to you or the tower, although you can still hear the wind howling around the top.
Do you want to come into the tower and join us, I guess?
It seems as if I will be moving towards the door and looking inside after you all.
So there's 2 trapdoors to go to the next floor, right?
Mm-hmm. They're up the stairs. And the stairs just wind around the inside of the tower. Do any of you want to do anything else in the tower? Are you guys like going to make a plan to go up there?
Let's just
Yeah, with my 50 feet of rope, I'm going to tie a lasso and see if I can't get the parapet on the top of the tower and climb up.
You really want to climb to the top of this tower.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a, let's say, an athletics check.
Perfect.
Now, for the rest of you inside, what are you doing?
I had an idea.
Besides checking the pockets of the city guard.
Yeah, while the bard was making sure they were okay, I was motioning for.
I felt
the
like there
wizard.
are air quotes in there.
I was motioning for the wizard to come in. You can bring your lights. It's kind of dark in here.
Cool.
You
So everyone-
weirdos without dark vision.
Oh, well, sorry, actually. Did Jet let us know about what's going on with all the crazy wind and stuff?
I don't
That's
think.
a good
so.
question.
No, I absolutely did not.
No? Okay.
So you got a 7 on your...
I got an 8. Actually.
8?
No, yeah. Someone actually miswrote what my athletics is. They just have it as a +1, where it should be a +3, so it should be 10.
Okay.
So does a 10 allow me to lasso a parapet 20 feet above me?
Your rope goes up about 10 feet, and then it's like it smacks into an invisible ceiling and falls back down.
All right, this is completely strange.
Yeah, there's some weird shit.
I communicate to them that not only was my racial ability nullified by magic, but now casting a rope in the air, I can only cast it 10 feet. And it will go no further.
I guess strength
I
was
see that there is something extremely menacing in the next 10 feet.
Ooh.
There's something. This is definitely more than like a simple kidnapping. Like this isn't just a revenge thing. They have something.
I think we need to arise these guards and see what happened to them, and talk to these people first before we venture anymore. And I pull out my healer's kit and I walk towards them. And I say to the group, did anybody hamper these men? Did anybody mess with them?
No.
We all just sort of like side eye and just like.
You can't mess with criminals. I mean, really.
I'm saying I'm about to wake them up, and I'm going to need to get information out of them. Is there any reason why they should not cooperate?
They might think we're the ones that knock them out.
God damn it. Then why would I be healing them? I lean down, I pull out my medicine kit, and I take out my aromatic salts. I put them to their nostrils. I start bandaging their heads and tending to their wounds to see if I can rise them up from unconsciousness.
Okay.
Well, he's that.
Yes.
I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna try to throw my hand axe up in the air to see if it will hit this invisible ceiling he's talking about.
Okay. It does indeed fly about 10 feet before smacking into nothing and falling back down.
My head up the stairs.
Okay. There are stairs to the right and to the left. Which ones do you
Left.
take? Left hand, of course.
I had an idea
Yeah.
for going to the next floor. How about we all, since you're going left, how about we all stack up on like the left trap door, and then I use Mage Hand to go to the right hand one, and then open it as loudly and as violently as I can, and then we wait like 2 seconds and then jump into the right one, just so that we like surprise anyone that might have like, oh my god, and like looked at the one that we're not coming out of.
I'm down with that. Let's do that.
Then you better do that fast.
So way up to the left. Get ready to
Sanglan,
do the right door.
Sanglan and Luku are already up the stairs. Jet, you've managed to wake up one of the guards who kind of looks at you confused.
I say it's okay. It's okay.
Gropes around. Our brothers, the fellow City Watch, they hit us. I don't understand. And who are you? And why am I on the floor?
Arwell de Levine. I am of House de Levine, and I found you concussed upon this room. I'm in pursuit of a kidnapped boy, and I feel that the people who bashed you against the head were disguised as City Watch. As I point up towards the trapdoors, all of our leads point to these trapdoors. Is there anything in there that's going to hamper us or hurt us? Any idea?
Before he can answer, a wind rattles the trapdoors above you. So tell me, Sanglan, you're already up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
As you stand there looking up, you see a bright flash of light, so bright it blinds you. And just for a moment, it reminds you of the plains of your childhood. Whenever, and then you realize there is definitely something going on. So I will need both you and Luku to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's just terrible. Okay.
23.
Wow. Okay.
4.
Yes.
That is
All
pretty
right.
terrible.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you tumble backwards back down the stairs. However, our Beerbarian manages to keep his balance, but you can still see the glyphs glowing faintly on the trapdoor. And if you look over to the right, you'll see that there is a matching glyph on that trapdoor. The guard, who is in Jet's arms, kind of blinks and says, "That's weird."
I say,
You don't
maybe.
say.
I say, yes, it is odd. It seems quite dangerous in here. I'm going to move you outside. Are you okay to walk, or do you need a hand?
I can walk, and he will help his friend up, who's super groggy and just like, "What the hell?" And they're like, "We're gonna go tell our supervisors. Don't do anything," and they'll wander out the door.
Truly, they were the best detectives in the entire City Watch.
So while all this is going on, I'm
Yes.
going to keep moving further away from the tower, tossing the axe up in the air to see how far out this spell goes.
I like this. All right. You get to about the first house, which is probably about 20 feet away, before your axe goes all the way up in its normal height and comes back down without any problem.
So it's just a...
Now, I am going to attempt to climb onto this house and then jump out onto this invisible platform in the air.
Oh, I love you. Please make a acrobatics check.
There's no way this could go wrong. This is going to yield amazing
I got
results.
a 17.
Mm. Is anyone watching her doing this? Because I mean, your one of your fighters has wandered outside, and you haven't heard from her in a bit.
Probably drunk.
I'm at the bottom of stairs.
I feel like this was happening while I was talking to the guards.
Okay, so no one.
We were
am.
preparing to open the thing with Mage Hand and everything.
Yeah, I don't like the guys playing inside, so I came outside.
Okay, so you are the only one who sees Anoth leap out in a graceful flight and then fall straight down to the earth. Shit. You do take 1 point of damage because, man, you hit hard right on your nose.
Oh, man.
Points for trying that.
So,
I guess
it's
it's
actually
only
just-
one direction. So, have you ever heard of a spell like this before?
I don't know. Have I? Can I make an arcane check?
Yes, please do.
All right.
Gonna make me look up stuff. I like it.
Okay. Only an 11.
Hmm. You definitely think it sounds like a school of magic that you're not familiar with. You know it would totally be possible,
Mm-hmm.
but you think it's probably something that is beyond your power.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm going to go out and join you and cast Detect Magic on it.
On what?
On the force field, because then that'll tell me what school
I
of magic
suspect
it
it's
is.
emanating
Well,
from
we already know it's
where
magic.
that are placed.
Well, no, but it tells you, Detect Magic also tells you what school of magic is, if you, I think. Let me double check here.
While you guys are doing that, back inside, so you had the glyph shine out whenever you attempted to open the trapdoor. What are you guys inside doing right now?
I'm going to take...
I am. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to take a big swig of what I had, close my eyes, and just let that beer fuel rage take over and try to kick the door open.
I'm gonna
Hell yes.
I'm gonna try and get up and run up behind him to make sure that if he falls backwards, I can brace against him and make sure he doesn't fall all the way down the stairs.
I feel like that's
Because
a
that was
bad
a bad
idea,
thought.
but that's on you. So
Okay.
Bearbarian, please go ahead and do an attack roll.
Okay.
So funny.
I missed.
What did you roll?
A 1.
Oh, should we do critical fumbles? I love critical fumbles. Let's at least do it narratively.
Yeah.
So you feel that warmth of beer in your belly, and you run at that, and you miss one of the stairs and fall forward, which does make your cleric friend fall on top of you.
Yeah.
So there is a tangle of barbarian and cleric at the top of the stairs that's being battered by wind.
We're just a bunch of fucking Johnny-come-latelys.
I am just an arrogant lassie,
Yes.
but I would like to walk up the side of the stairs to the right.
Okay.
And I want to, since this is like an air kind of spell, I might have some kind of inkling into what perhaps is happening to it. And I'll let my fingers run over the, not the door, but just kind of over in the air in front of it, and see if I can divine what precisely this glyph is.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw.
All right, I'm actually proficient in these. Okay. Oh my god. So that's going to be a 10.
So as you reach out to it, the wind catches you and throws you to the floor. And it felt kind of personal, really. Now, let's go back outside.
I'm
Are you
sorry,
guys-
I was trying to read the glyph. Was
Oh,
I
I
not
know.
able to read it?
Well, before you even got close to it, the wind was like, bam! You were denied.
So before my eyes could see it.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's see here. So yeah, let's go back outside. You guys were discussing, has anything happened?
So I'm
Anyone
gonna
want to jump
use,
off a roof again?
No.
I'm gonna use detect magic to figure out what school of magic this is.
I did kind of like when I stood up, kind of made it seem like I really meant to do that. Like I probably figured there wasn't going to be a anything to land on there.
Oh, you knew. You totally knew that was going to happen. Oh yeah. You pull it off. I'm sure the wizard believes that you did that on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
You guys are fantastic. All right. So detect magic is around here somewhere. If you want to read it out loud for our viewers, that would be great, as I
Yeah, it's
pinpoint something for you.
for the duration. You can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay. Let's see if we have... Sorry, I'm having to actually look up the school of the spell because I hadn't worried about it before. So, please plot among yourselves.
I say we burn it.
Just go get torches, and then we'll
I
cheat.
pull out a torch out of my backpack. Yep, we burn it right now.
That is too funny. So people in the tower are discussing burning the tower, the stone tower.
Like the man said, dead or alive.
So we've tried both doors. They don't open. They got glyphs on them.
Perhaps we should go and see the magic user who sent us on this quest to see if he can take down these glyphs for us.
But what's his name, man? Could be dead by then.
I know, so it's perhaps with great haste that we should go and find him.
What were you saying, Miles?
I will walk back inside.
How good are water genasi at being battering rams?
As in, like, you just, like, you know, hoist them up and then just use their bodies at that?
Yes.
We're kind of squishy. I don't know.
Okay. You're lucky.
On the other hand, anyone know Dispel Magic?
I have a really big maul.
Yeah,
So
I
let's see.
Ooh.
As you guys discuss the glyphs, as you're all around there, the wind fades and the glyphs stop glowing.
Uh-oh.
That seems bad.
I will barge up the stairs.
Let's do the
My
mage hand
maul.
open one door and then we barge open the other one plan, I think.
In like 2 hands and just like bash the door open because that's not a good sign.
Okay, so you go ahead and run right up the stairs. Give me an attack roll. Don't roll a 1.
I got a 10.
A 10?
I got a 10. I didn't roll a 1, but I rolled a 5.
All right. You start battering onto the trapdoor, and those of you who are watching notice there's no wind.
What?
Mm.
Alright, I'm gonna try to help.
By the way, Mara, you know that the spell protecting the tower is evocation.
Okay.
All right, so we have attacked the door twice, not quite hit it. There's another door, but there's no wind. What do you guys want to do?
Can I try just opening the other door?
You jiggle it and you realize that it's locked.
Okay, do I have anything that can unlock things? No.
I don't believe no one's playing a thief.
No, we need brute force to open this.
Yeah. I don't have thieves' tools, but I have the proficiency somehow.
Do you have an
Really?
axe?
I have a background, criminal
You
background.
Oh, that's right.
But none of you know that.
No, everyone ignore what he just said.
I'm gonna try and strong arm the door again.
Okay. All of you who would like to attack the door, go ahead and make your attack rolls and put in the chat what you get.
Well, rather than attack it, can I just physically force it open?
I just rolled a
Um,
natural 20.
Hell yes!
Oh, nice.
You do have to attack it.
Okay.
That door has made me angry.
Oh, well, roll me some damage,
Alright.
because that's badass. Kyle,
Does 14 hit door?
no. So sorry.
So I take out this mace in its practiced way, and I just tap it against the door really hard. Eh.
Yeah. Sorry.
The door done.
Water jelly armed water genasi.
Would I
All right.
get also the +3 added to damage from my
Yes.
strength?
Yes.
So that would actually be a
You do.
10.
Excellent. So yes, you
Damage.
will apply your strength bonus to both your attack and your damage, unless I'm getting my game systems mixed up.
Both.
Yeah, it's just your proficiency
both.
that you don't apply to the damage.
Yeah. So now you're all kind of astonished at the sound that comes from the door when a Noth hits it, and then she stands back as Sang Lin steps forward and just obliterates that thing with, I assume you have a club?
Great sword.
Great sword. He cuts that door in half, and you guys
Way to go.
can go up into the top of the tower.
I weakened it.
You totally did. Actually, you did a lot of damage, so yeah. So guys,
We
the
go
door
up.
is now open. There's no wind.
What's in there?
That is the
Run
top of the
upstairs.
tower. All right. Is everyone going up?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
will take up the last place in the stairwell and pull out my bow.
Good call.
I'll go just in front of you, because I have a crossbow.
Okay, so our marching order, you guys are at the end. Let's see, there's 6 of you? Yeah.
I'm going to be sort of in the middle behind the fighters to make sure they're all healed up if something bad happens.
I'll take point.
On the counter, I'll just put in 6 for my position.
Okay. So I assume that the wizard. Do you want to be before or after the cleric?
I want to be after the guys with the bows and the crossbows. In
Oh,
case
you
they
want to be out
fire
the end.
Yeah, I think I'll take the rear there.
Okay. Now we have a marching order. Fantastic.
So I'm behind the cleric, who is behind the two fighters.
Yeah. Yes. So you guys burst out of the trapdoor onto the top of the tower. And you see the unconscious form of who you assume to be Larch, a young boy, or a young man, bound with rope, lying at the feet of a man dressed in the black and gray robes of a priest of Talos.
Oh dear.
I'm not Talos.
He's...
Attack.
Hold on! You guys are so trigger happy, which is pretty awesome. But the man is wreathed in swirling winds. If Larch wasn't secured to the top of the wall by an iron stake, it is likely that the whirlwind would easily blow him from the wall. Between you and this odd scene are 4 burly humans, 2 wearing City Watch uniforms, but all similarly armed and armored. All of them have features similar to Benassi the seamstress. As your group arrives atop the tower, the man within the whirlwind points at you. Talos demands that you kill the intruders who stand in the way of your vengeance, break their bodies, and give them to the storm. So let's roll some initiative.
Yay!
Yeah, that kind of sounds like something that Talos would do.
Tempest laughs in the face of Talos.
So I suggested group initiative. Are you guys cool with that, or do you want to do it individual?
Group's good.
I prefer individual.
Who's got the highest initiative, though?
It sounds like there was 1 vote against. Everybody else wants to do group. We'll do group. So whoever wants to roll, we will switch who rolls every time there's a round.
Miles wanted to attack first. He should roll first.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you want me to roll? Okay. I rolled a 17.
All right. They did somehow get the drop on you. G1, G2, G3, G4. All right. Way to not put this in the way I would do it. All right, so all 4 of them leap forward. There are 2 on the Beerbarian, and 2 on our Goliath. And one of them hits our Goliath. Let's see. They are using swords. It appears they're all carrying identical swords and armor. And go ahead and take 5 points of damage. Enough.
All right.
The mage behind them cackles whenever his sword bites into your arm. So now it is your turn. Let's go around. I'm going to go by the order on the bottom of my screen. So, Miles, what are you going to be doing?
I throw my greatsword at the spellcaster.
Oh, shit. All right.
That's the way you do it.
Normally a
any punches.
greatsword doesn't have throwing ability.
Right.
I have the Tavern Brawler feat, which lets me treat
Right.
anything without thrown as having thrown with a range of 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So I got a 19 to AC.
Oh, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
4, 3, 12 damage.
Okay. He does stop cackling, but now you don't have your sword.
That's okay.
And he looks pissed, and he's noticed you.
Yeah. I'm going to run up in his face, which probably will provoke 2 attacks of opportunity.
So you attacked, and now you can run forward. You're dodging around your friends who are engaged in melee, but you can get close to him. So we'll come back to you in a moment.
Yep.
Anoth, tell me what you're doing.
All right. I am going to swing my maul around at the guy who just nicked me.
Mm-hmm.
Just a flesh wound.
Total flesh wound.
I just got another 20. Oh my god.
Yes! I like that die.
I do like that. That's actually one of my, it's like it's a tinier d20 and it seems to roll better. So I get a bonus, but I don't see it listed on the sheet.
You don't?
The critical hit?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I wasn't sure what you were asking. In this particular system, I think
You roll double
criticals-
damage die plus
you
your
get-
modifier.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So I roll my damage dice twice, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so that is 18, so that's the first damage, and also the second damage. So I just did 22 damage.
So, essentially, you're a Goliath. What weapon do you have? A halberd? Or are you using your
I'm
maul?
using the maul right now because that's the one I burst the door with.
So it's actually kind of unsettling the way she just like swings that and the guy disintegrates into just like a smear. All right, so one down. So let's see. Next up is our bard. Now you're
Okay,
kind of back
so-
behind everybody, but you have a bow, right?
Yeah, I have a crossbow and I have magics.
Oh yes.
So I am going to shout at the he's not the priest or whatever he is that you worship Talos? I didn't even know he was still around. Wasn't he a dead god or something like that?
Oh,
And
Bird.
can you make a wisdom save for me? Can you make a wisdom save?
Yes, I most certainly can. That's hilarious. You're insulting his god. So mad. So mad. Oh, he made it.
Oh, he did? He got over 13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then that sucks. And I'm going to get as far away from him as I can then.
Yeah, he's turned his attention from the Berberian to you, and this look like, what the? Yeah. So next up is Uzara Sin. What you gonna do? You've got three of the three brothers and the priest.
You're
No,
The,
Chris is still muted.
the size of the room again.
Well, you're on the top of a tower.
Okay.
So it's about, let's say, 15 by 15. You've got enough
Okay.
room to maneuver.
Okay. No, I was going to cast sleep, but that would probably put us all to sleep.
It totally would. And if you want to
Can
do
you-
that...
It would start with me. I think we'll pass on that. I'll just cast Firebolt at the mage, or not the
Excellent.
mage, whatever he is.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
called him both. He's a mage,
Okay.
dedicated to Talos.
Dedicated. All right. Well, dedication is always a good thing. I believe I roll to attack with this spell.
Yeah, I think so. If I recall the Firebolt.
17.
That's a hit. Roll me some damage.
All right. Oh. Die fell. Hold on a second.
It's okay. I lost a die yesterday in the middle of a game.
9.
9. So tell me, whenever you cast Firebolt, what form does it take from your hands?
Is this one of the? Okay, hold on.
It's also personal preference. You can change the spell, the aesthetics of it.
Oh, okay. All right. The aesthetics of it are a great flaming bird.
Mm. All right. A great flaming bird bursts from your friend's hands and swoops directly at the priest, who shrieks in agony, and you watch as he begins to burn. He falls to the ground.
It is the best game of Angry Birds.
Awesome. All right. So you still have 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they're starting to look kind of unsure of what's going on, and they are giving the magic user a wide berth. They're backing up. They're like, whoa, we did not sign up for this.
And that's a cantrip.
But as they back up, the winds pick up, and you get the impression that the mage may have said something as he was burning, because now a number of red feathered hawks, each with two bits of red light in their eyes, seem to form out of the wind, as if in response to your fiery bird.
Okay.
So the brothers will back up and kind of cower on the other side of the tower, but you guys are facing 8 of these birds.
8?
Uh-huh. You can handle it, man. I have faith. Some of you haven't even gone yet.
You're like a water guy. You can put them out.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, because they're wind, right? They're just red.
They're just bright red, but they did seem to form out of the wind. So what do you want to do?
Who's next?
You.
Okay, I was going to hit the other guy. I am going to cast Sacred Flame against one of these birds. Bird
Awesome.
needs to make a dexterity save, DC 13.
Okay. Oh, and it fails.
All right.
So tell us what happens.
Oh, geez. 8 points of radiant damage.
Let me see how many hit points these guys have. 8 points? Damn.
Oh, it's just a D8, and I actually rolled an 8. Just the best I've rolled this entire game.
Okay, so what form does this spell take?
Sacred Flame, it's a column of sort of light blue light, kind of looks like waves going whoosh, sort of rising up, sort of engulfing whatever is within it.
Okay. This column, it engulfs one of the hawks, and it disappears with a shriek, and a singed feather floats down.
Yeah.
So 1 down already. All right. Jet, what do you want to do?
I feel the feather of one of my arrows. I put it into my bow. I pull it back to my ear, the shaft. The camera sees the point of the arrowhead, and then it focuses, and you see the arrowhead point to my eye as I target one of the birds. I smile and the bow flow.
All right. You want to?
And that is going to be a 18 plus 7 to hit the bird, with a 7 plus 3 for damage, 10 damage on the bird.
10 damage on the bird. So one of them, it's skewered by his arrow, and it also falls down to the ground in front of one of the brothers, who makes this kind of whimpering noise and edges away from it.
Now, are they falling like an actual bird would fall?
Yeah, you can even hear it kind of thump against the ground, or the floor of the tower. And that one does seem to have left a body behind. All right, so we're back at the top of the initiative. But I'm going to let you guys go first, the ones who had gone previously, before the hawks attack. I know it's kind of like hinky, but I want to give you guys a chance to attack the hawks before they attack you. So that gives us back to Sang Lun.
Does the mage actually look dead or dying?
He's like a little thing of ash right now.
Okay. So then I'll
I mean,
just
you
go...
can attack the brothers too.
No, I'll punch one of these birds then.
Let's not make
Punch a bird. Yes.
15 hit?
Yes, it does. You jump up, you punch that bird, and how much damage do you do?
4, 5, 6, 7 damage.
You punch that bird dead. It falls to the ground as well. Which is a weird phrase I never thought I would say. Anath, what do you want to do?
I'm looking at the birds and I'm looking at my maul. Like, I don't know if this is such a good idea. Jump around in the air, swinging it, hoping that I can hit one of these things in the air. Oh, hey. I rolled an 18. I guess flailing about. I hit one of the birds because it's 18 plus 5, so 23 total.
Oh, you hit it. It's like it was swooping down and it met your weapon in midair. Wanted to give it a kiss. So tell us how much damage you did.
I did 8 points of damage.
Oh, you killed it. You brained its little birdie brain. It is so dead. Mara. Oh.
Okay, so I am going to pull my crossbow out of my back. I'm going to rack a bolt. I'm going to let it go, and does a... What is that? I'm not good at math, so I'm using a calculator.
It's okay.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes, it does. Roll me some damage.
Okay, where's my D8? It takes 8 points of damage. Oh, plus 2. It takes 10 points of damage.
Another goes fluttering to the ground. The remaining hawks shriek. They seem really pissed off now.
Oh, that's good.
All right, Luku, what do you want to do?
Oh, let's see.
I'm sorry, I skipped Uzaro. I'm sorry. Azara?
What? Sir, to be named again later. By
a GM who can't pronounce things, but yeah.
So you said we're at the top of the tower, right? That doesn't mean we're in open air.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Open air.
Okay. Are the birds grouped close enough where I could hit them with a 15-foot cone of fire?
Yes, 2 of them are kind of staying together a little bit,
Okay.
while the remaining one is over to the right.
All
It's
right.
a little bigger than the others, and it seems a little more angry.
Okay. Well, taking care not to hit any of my compatriots, I'm going to cast Burning Hands, which, if they save, they take 4 damage. If they don't save, they take 8.
Don't hit large.
And what's the DC?
There's no DC. It's
Oh, a
simply,
saving throw. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my DC.
Yeah.
It's mine. 13.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah. Wait, no. Dang, where is it on this character sheet?
It should be on your sheet with all your spells, actually. At the top, it'll say your
on the spell sheet. Yeah, it's 13. All right.
Okay. They both failed. So
Okay.
two more hawks flutter to the ground.
All right.
So that leaves you with just the one who looks kind of mad.
Angry bird.
Angry bird, very angry bird. And so he is going to swoop down directly at Luku.
Oh no.
And he is shrieking for blood. Oh. And what's your AC?
Actually, it's pretty good. It's 18.
Yeah, it is. All right. He doesn't. Oh no, he does hit.
Oh.
Take 4 points of damage as the hawk grapples around your face and it's scratching and it's trying really hard to Oh, I'm sorry. I went back into Lamentations mode. The bird is attacking your face.
I'm not. Well, no, I was about to say I'm not complaining, but I mean that's what I've heard. So.
I'm trying to be good and have less geysers of blood. Anyway. So it attacked you, and you and Jet are the 2 left. So if you want to make an attack back, it would make sense.
Actually, I was going to ask, how's Larch looking? Because you said he was sort of staked in place. Is that into his body, or just
Oh no, his hands are tied and tied to a stake, so he can't get away. He's actually unconscious.
He's unconscious? Does he look badly hurt, or is he just sort of knocked out?
Just knocked out.
Oh, okay. I was going to heal him or something. I am going to try and hit this bird with a mace.
It's probably a good idea, as long as you don't roll a 1 and hit yourself in the face with it.
Yeah, so Luku says, I'm Luku. I'm an ex-Mulmaster Navy, and I'm a cleric of... Actually, I had to look it up. Velda, goddess of peace, but I'm not being peaceful right now. And he swings, and I'm guessing 8 isn't going to do it?
No, but at least you didn't hit yourself in the face.
Oh, at least.
So he's trying to hit the bird, but it's like on his face, and he doesn't quite make contact. Jet, do you want to help him out?
No, I want to go over to Lurch and free him.
I like that you're just no. All right. You are able to go over there. You can tell that he is just unconscious and tied up. He's a little worse for the wear,
I'll
but
just cut
some
his
of that.
palms and put him over my shoulder.
Yeah. You're pretty sure that most of his wounds are from the attack of the seamstress.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, you can pick him up pretty easily. The brothers look at you and they're like, he's. And then one of them stops and says, "That went kind of further than I thought it would. I don't think that Proskar told us the truth." And he looks at his two brothers and they both nod. Of course, the bird is still shrieking in the background, but
This Prosler, where can we find him?
well, I mean, they gesture at the pile of ashes.
I walk over and kick it. You mean
He reforms into an ash creature.
Oh, that's fantastic. Whenever you kick the ashes, it reveals a small pendant made out of silver.
I grab it.
It's in the shape of a gust of wind.
I'm like, oh, this is an ancient relic of my house.
So in the meantime, that would bring us back to Sang Lun. Sang, your friend is being clawed at in the face by a bird. Do you want to help him?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the last of the alcohol that I have on me
Oh yes, drink.
and pour it all over myself, and then jump on the bird's back.
How big is this bird?
Is it like normal hawk size?
Yes. Yeah. So he's gonna
She's gonna grab it by the wings.
just by jumping on it. So what'd you get?
Probably don't hit with a 9.
No, you leap for the bird as it's flapping around your friend's face, but it actually swoops away in time and now is flying in front of the both of you, shrieking its little head off. Anoth, do you want to lend a hand?
I'm eyeballing it, and I'm waiting, and then as it looks like it might swoop down again, I'm gonna try to hit it like a cricket bat or something.
Yes, please do. Please hit this thing.
All right, does a 13 hit?
Yes, it does. Roll me some damage.
All right. That is 9 points of damage.
Oh, it goes flying over the stands. It is gone. It's so gone. You killed that bird.
I put my hand up to my eyes.
Nice
and,
touch.
and then I kind of buff my my top of my maul with my arm.
Did I see you point in that direction before you hit it?
It is possible, yes.
You guys are fantastic.
Is this
All
a
right.
good point to take a small break?
And can you wait 5 minutes?
Yes. That's
Okay.
just in time for me to feed my cats. Perfect.
We must bow to the feline overlords.
No, I want to see them all attack you and their food and draw you down out of your chair.
Consider it LARPing. It would be fun. Oh, all right. So you're able to free Larch. He's unconscious but alive. And some of the City Watch shows up around this time. They were fetched by the guys who had been knocked out, and they arrest Benessy's brothers.
How about the two guys that I helped? Are they like, hey man, what's up? Did I make friends?
No. Because after all, it's kind of embarrassing to get knocked out.
And
They're
wake
friends
up
with no
lighter
one.
coin bursters.
I assume you take Larch back to his family estate?
Yeah, I don't even let him walk. I just carry him over my shoulder the whole time.
Okay.
Just well, he's scrawny, and Sorry, Sarah, not to interrupt. Sorry, I just got a message from my girlfriend Natalie. She says to tell you to stop menacing her boyfriend with avians, at least until as long as he's not too much of a punk ass to handle it. So I'm getting made fun of.
I like your girlfriend. All right. That was probably last of the birds, so I'll just menace you with other things.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are able to take him back with no problem. The guards at the estate take him from you and give each of you an additional 50 gold.
Oh, nice.
Now, the pendant that you picked up was also worth 50 gold pieces. And as you're leaving, a paladin walks up to you. She's wearing a symbol that tells you she's part of the Order of the Gauntlet. And she gives you a potion of healing. She tells you that Larch was her student, and while she is just sadly disappointed at his lack of skill, she appreciates you saving him from his own stupidity. And she will be happy to spread the word about the brave and noble acts that you have performed.
I will tell her that if she would like a good student, there is a lovely seamstress up at the mansion named Zena, who seems to have a really good right and left hook.
Mm-hmm.
You are awesome. She will
That's
smile
a good idea.
and tell you, yes, I believe I will seek her out. Thank you. That was totally awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Keep her away from March.
So you guys are able to go back to your quarters at Madame Sage's. So we are going to take a short break now, and then whenever we come back, we'll do another little mini adventure. And at the very end, I will figure out your experience and gold and everything.
Okay.
So we don't have to
Cool.
worry about it yet.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
No problem.
The break.
Let's take 10 minutes. So let's come back at 4:10.
Okay.
I know that's fudging a little, but come back 4:10, and then we'll get started again.
Do you
Sounds good.
remember how much money I got off of the guards that I
Oh.
liberated their coin from?
It was
I think-
7 silver pieces.
Something like that, yeah.
It was 4
Okay,
from
so-
one and 3 from another.
Thank you.
So I'll take 2 for myself, and then I'll give everyone else 1 piece.
So bad. Anyway.
They're tyrants.
All right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
See you in a bit.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody watching at home? You doing good? Seem like you're doing good. Are we gonna live through the next thing? I mean, maybe, probably. I mean, I probably won't, but, you know, we got a lot of tough people in the party. What?
Hey, I am
Hey, what's up?
merely totaling up treasure. 25 times 8. 6. Okay. Now I need a calculator. Damn it. No one told me there would be math. Oh, wait.
That's always the biggest downside when I introduce a game to new people and everything. They're like, wait, they didn't tell me there would be math?
I am really bad. I make jokes about that because as a fine art major, I avoid math at all costs in school and in life.
I would actually hazard to guess that I am only decent at, like, really simple and quick addition, subtraction, multiplication stuff, pretty much because of D&D.
There is the argument for D&D, people.
I feel like everything I learned about math I learned from Yahtzee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna say the math in like 5e is not as bad compared to say like Thaco, trying to figure that out in your head.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because if you're like me and you grew up with Thaco and playing that way, it's easy.
I'm trying to explain it to other people though, and they're like, "What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, there is a lot of what the black magic are you talking about? Yeah.
Lower is better, yes. Minuses, you always wanted lots of minuses."
I relearned, actually, yeah, I'd say the biggest use I ever got out of high school algebra and calculus was playing champions in college.
Nice.
So I think most everybody's back. I do have to break the bad news to you guys that the way D&D Expeditions works is it's assumed that everything is split equally among everybody.
Okay.
That's fine.
So if one of you want to decide to be the one who carries the potion of healing for this next adventure, after that we will actually, if you guys don't use it, we'll actually figure out the value in money and split that among the party.
I have
Who
something
has
on
the-
the second win, so
Well,
I don't really use
Too
that
many
much.
people talking. So you, Jet, you said you don't want it.
No.
What were you saying, Mara?
I was going to say that whoever has the lowest HP should probably get it.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have?
6.
Okay.
Yeah. You take that.
Man, I forgot how
Squishy?
weak. Yeah, squishy first level magic users are. Oh.
At least you didn't have to roll a 1d4.
So my question is, did we sell the pendant and then show the money?
That's what's going to be assumed is happening. So I'm keeping track of your XP and your money. You're currently at 207 silver pieces. Or no, wait a minute. Some of that was not silver. I take that back. Da, 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 da. Let me redo my math. So we'll ignore the silver pieces that were taken from the guards. You all have 1 silver piece except for Mara, who has 2. So right now you're at 200 gold pieces. And you're all at 375 XP, but we'll see what happens in the next part of the adventure. All right. Yeah.
It's going to be like the next day, but I have had a chance to have somebody.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we get to sleep and maybe heal up a little?
You guys should indeed do that.
Long rest. Long rest.
Was I able to procure my arrow from the
Procure
bird?
your what?
Arrow from the bird.
No.
I lost.
I always go on the assumption that we have infinite ammo, because it's a pain in the butt to track ammo.
I'd prefer you guys not do that.
Okay.
And you'll probably find in most of the expedition adventures, the GMs prefer that you keep track of ammo.
Okay.
Because we love it when you run out. Oh.
Okay. I'll keep track of that from now on. We'll say that
Cool.
I have a belt quiver of 25 bolts.
That sounds reasonable. I know the quivers are normally 20 or 25. So most of the time, your arrows are not recoverable. There will be some specific instances where you do. Before we jump back in, though, I just want to check in as far as players. Is everybody happy? Does anyone need anything? Have any questions? I can't bring you snacks and drinks, but anything else? Everyone else is good?
Not with that attitude, you can't.
It's the internet! I blame the internet! Oh.
Hey, our area has the Amazon, 1-hour delivery service now, so...
That's pretty fancy.
Are any of you guys from Canada?
Nope.
I am. I'm from Southern Ontario.
I recently found out that Americans don't have ketchup chips, and I was
Yeah,
like,
they
what?
don't.
Oh, we do.
This is bizarre.
We do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Well, some of us. I mean, it's a big place.
It's decently sized, I'd say, I guess.
Okay, so actually, I do have a question. I'd like to avoid having to worry about material components and get an arcane focus.
Okay.
And I was looking at a staff. Now, is the staff also usable as a quarterstaff?
Yes. But if you break it, you lose your focus.
Ah. Yeah.
That's that LOTFP slipping right back in there, Sarah.
What are you talking about?
That's what happened to Gandalf. I want to get that, and depending on the loot, I'd like to get thieves' tools as well.
Ooh. Do you guys want your gold now so you can spend it on stuff?
Of course
That's
we do.
a pretty good idea.
Okay. Well, you have 375 experience points, and then there are 6 of you.
Did we just level?
No.
No, not yet. So you all get, let's round up, you all get 34 pieces of gold.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you, let's take about 10 minutes that you can start buying stuff and figuring stuff out. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Shopping trip.
Shopping. 10 minutes to shop. And if you have any bizarre requests, please tell me. Like thieves' tools, Mulmaster is just a cesspit. You can totally find thieves' tools. Anything bizarre, you can run by me.
Yeah, I'd like to get thieves' tools, and I want a staff, even though it could be broken. That's 30 gold. That's 30 gold total from the 49 that I've got.
As Kyle mentioned, some other GMs might not threaten your staff.
Oh, but you will? I'm counting on it.
Well, now that you guys have had a little bit of time to play with me and are easing into the D&D mindset, I might have to break out a little bit of Lamentations.
Yeah. That's alright, I love that.
You should have played my game yesterday, man.
I was doing stuff in person, and I had other games I was doing.
Aww.
Do you run LOTFP online at all?
It was online.
No, I mean like as a regular game.
Oh, I'm not currently running any regular games. I've been too busy.
There's
Sorry.
some places on Facebook if you want to join games regularly. There's the One Shot group, and there's also the Wild Wild West, or the W3 RPG. Those are all groups that I've been a part of, and I've played like 200 games in the past 4 months.
Dang.
Nice. But I promise, probably after Gen Con, I'll be more available to run games.
Is climbing a dexterity or a strength action?
Climbing is athletics.
Okay.
As per the book, anyway.
Oh, I had a crowbar. We could have used that on the trapdoors.
Yes,
If we
make
could've
sure
gotten up
to
to
look
them.
at that.
But
Yeah.
it's not as much fun as running up the stairs with a giant maul in your hands.
A battering ram gives you +4 to break down doors.
You guys can't buy a battering ram.
To get a portable battering ram?
I play with a guy in a 3.5 game in person who has a Goliath, who has a portable battering ram, And he finally got to use it like a session ago, and he was so excited because he's had this thing forever and has never been able to use it.
That's kind of why I would encourage you not to do that. Just because, this is kind of a one-shot. Like I said, you can definitely take these characters and play in other expedition games.
Mm-hmm.
The GM might look over your stuff and disallow some equipment or magic items. It's totally up to them. But so I don't know. Battering ram seems a little odd, but most things
It
are.
says in the book that it's a thing.
Well, yeah, but
Sarah, could I get a? Sorry, I'm looking over the things that I'm gonna like. Could I get? I'm gonna buy some silk rope, a bottle of perfume, and a flask of oil.
yes.
Somebody's having a party.
Yeah, I was
I
about
know.
to say, getting ready for a day.
Or a
Oh yeah.
Saturday night in. Oh, anyway.
I'm not going to use the staff as a focus. It seems I already have an orb, so I'm going to just keep that as my focus. But the staff would be a good distraction, good red herring for someone else to. Also,
No, I
it's a
definitely
weapon.
approve of that.
It's a weapon.
Yeah,
I was just going to buy a great sword.
great sword is fine.
Okay, potion.
I think the Berberian needs a couple more throwing great swords.
Yeah, that was amazing. I had not even heard of that hack.
That was
with
great.
Pop weapons. That was great.
That was super awesome. I was totally thrilled that you were able to bring that class into the game.
I am going to spend 4 gold pieces and go to the best inn I can find, have a good night's rest, get a good, wealthy meal and everything.
Awesome. Splurging is encouraged.
Just some flavor stuff, because there isn't really anything I want to buy, but,
Well, plus, you're adventurers. You don't know. You could die tomorrow. You should live for today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could have, I forgot, no, I didn't take that background.
All right. Are we about finished up?
I think so.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome. I could tell by the slant of your hat. You're totally ready to get in trouble. All right. So, it is the next day. You work another shift at Mr. Saj's party. And this party, man, this is the kind of party you're pretty sure that your friend the bard is going to be writing songs about. There is dancing and enjoyment all day. There are just tables full of the finest foods. And it's actually kind of odd to see all the nobles interacting with the lower classes, even though the younger nobles seem to be enjoying it quite a bit. There are people in costumes, tumblers, music around every corner. Of course, all of you are pretty busy with your individual jobs. Whoops, I went too far. Yay! So, as you finish your shift on the second day, you're all standing together, talking, possibly complaining about patrons you ran into that day, or, some servant who is helping with the roast pork and dropped it on your foot.
Oh no, pork foot. Hey, when that happens.
Pig's feet.
When the group of you are approached by a tall, middle-aged man who's dressed in fine silk clothes. He's accompanied by 2 burly dwarf bodyguards, but he motions at them, and they move away so that he can speak with you privately. I've been told, and he shoots a glance at the halfling who had hired you and helped assign you to your jobs. I'd heard that you are mercenaries with a variety of skills. I have a problem that persons with such skills might solve for me. However, before I continue, I must have your word that you will be discreet.
Yeah, no, discreet is our middle name. That's totally what we're discreet, right, guys?
How much does
For the right money.
discretion... Yeah.
I think discreet might actually be Luku's middle name.
It's got like apostrophes sort of peppered throughout it.
I'm so discreet, I don't even know what we're talking about.
My middle name is Of.
The man smiles politely and pats his face with a handkerchief. You can smell the perfume from where you're standing. I am Count Stowe. I am one of the blades of the city. And my son is a bit of a problem. He's fallen in with a bad crowd. There's some tavern wench, Helga or Ilga or something equally trite, and I forbade him from consorting with her. 3 days ago, I told him either stop seeing the girl or leave your inheritance, and to my shock, he left the house. He yelled at me. He raised his voice, told me he would not give up his true love, and he left. I haven't seen him since. I did some of my, and he gestures at his bodyguards, companions have heard rumors that he was seen at the tavern she works. It's called the Leaning Boot. But every time I go there, I haven't been able to catch him yet. I would like you to find my son and bring him back by tomorrow morning. In exchange for your services, including your discretion, I will pay you 200 gold pieces.
I really don't want to help this guy.
GM, I deny your story.
This guy seems like an asshole. Oh.
Is your son by which we know your son? What does he look like?
My son Sebastian, in addition to looking a great deal like me, very well formed, we're from a very good family. He is a tall, gangly lad of 16 years. He has curly dark hair and a patch of gray on the right side where he was kicked in the head by a horse as a child. It did not affect his wits at all. It's merely cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you might have to, shall we say, use a heavy hand to get Sebastian to come back home. And I do understand that, but I do expect him to be returned mostly intact.
So he can be missing an arm or a leg?
Preferably with no missing parts.
No. What about where it's not visible?
He frowns at you and turns towards a jet. Now, of course, having the favor of someone as well placed as a blade would be very good for your group. I trust I can see you to bring my boy home.
Yes. Is there any message that you would like delivered personally from yourself, or perhaps from your wife, that we might be able to communicate to him, to perhaps soften his heart?
Tell him that this is his last chance, or there will be no inheritance, and he will be cast into the streets. I expect him to obey my wishes.
I understand that, sir. And I know that you've communicated this to him before. However, he had shown a bit of recalcitrance, and since he's having this stubborn resistance towards authority, perhaps saying that you love him and miss him, or perhaps a letter that you could give us, or
can you guys hear me?
Like from his childhood.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, I dropped out there for a while.
How about something only he would know, and that only you would know?
Such low sentiment or tricks are not needed. He must consider his duty to his family to produce a grandchild.
Isn't that what you do with the tavern wench?
I think he's probably considered it.
Sir, do you think that we should seduce Helga and then show him the seduction, and then that could turn things in our favor?
The manner in which you do it is up to you. I do not wish to know details.
Will we still get paid if something were to happen to him?
No.
Oh. So we can't fake his death.
I think Luku would sort of lean in and say, "So yeah, these we've noticed that young gangly men are bad things have been happening to them as of late. This Helga/Ilga/Olga, would you be able to describe her at all to us? Have you seen her?
I saw her a time or two. She's thin and comely enough. A little
Yeah, I
bit
know.
older
My
than
call
my
just
son.
dropped, and then it was weird.
Her hair is short and spiky and a very bright red.
Ooh.
And she works in that leaning boot. It's in a very seedy neighborhood that my son should not be associated with.
We will do what we can to return him to you. Actually, I looked at everyone else. Is that the thing that we're doing? We can take this?
You're covering our expenses, right?
Of course. Here is half of your payment, 100 gold pieces, plus an additional 5 gold pieces for bribes.
Oh, I love getting
5's a little light.
You can also, with restraint, let them know that you work for one of the blades. I'm sure that will also loosen tongues.
I will snatch the whole of it and secret it away. And
Okay.
say, great, we got drinking money. Let's go.
Now, I do expect my son to be home by tomorrow morning.
Well, you know how work is sometimes. It might take a little longer, it might take a little less. You never know. We'll get back to you.
The later you are, the less you will receive of payment.
What
And
happens on the morrow?
Is he due to be married? Is he due to be...
He is due to attend a social event with me and my wife, which may lead to a possible marriage.
What's your wife's name?
Uno momento. Naming women in game. Oh, let's see. My wife's name is Rose.
Rose. And would you say that Sebastian is closer to you or Rose?
I'm not sure I like the tone of your inquiry.
Sir, I'm just trying to get the facts.
He sniffs at you, turns away from you, looks at Mara. Or no, Anoth was the one who annoyed him earlier, right?
Yes.
Looks at Anoth again, frowns further, and turns to...
I smile brightly at him when he frowns at me.
And turns to Luca. If you have any other questions, I'm sure you can figure out the rest.
You're hiring us for discretion and, a number of other talents that we are, clearly available of. Yeah, we have this well in hand. Thank you for your patronage. We will get little Sebastian back and home in no time.
I am glad to hear it. By tomorrow morning. And then he will collect his bodyguards and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any newspapers in town?
No, most of the populace is illiterate.
Oh. So we can't, go tell the newspaper about this?
I think we should see if Sebastian will pay us more money to let him live out his life with Helga, because
I'd take less money.
I don't like that man.
Yeah, I don't like him
I
either.
wanted to shove his little handkerchief up his nose.
I don't like him in character. I like him in character even less than I do in real life.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? You are vaguely familiar with the Leaning Boot. You know you've walked past it at least, so you have a general idea of where it is. And your nights are yours, even though you work all day at the party.
Go there.
Yeah. Go knock some boots.
I don't suppose there's any chance that as a bard I might have worked at that inn before.
You know what? Let's see, let's look at all the different things you have. Let's go with a general knowledge check So let's do history.
Okay. Does a 10 get me anything?
A 10 lets you know. So you haven't actually played there, but you know a few things about it. You've heard other bards who have had jobs there, and you know that it doesn't pay as well as the ones you normally take. It's a bit of a dive bar, and it's near the docks.
Okay, have I heard like it's like not a nice place to be, or is it like a friendly, like welcoming but small place, or what?
Pretty much what you've heard is there's nothing friendly about anything related to it.
Okay. Okay.
Mulmaster doesn't get described as friendly. That's not how we do things. I mean,
No, but I'm like, is it like a local watering hole or what? Because I'm just trying to figure out if there's any chance that what's his name is being taken for a ride by.
Oh, he's being taken for a ride, all right.
Well, you know what I mean, like being conned.
oh.
Pretty much you know that it's like I said it's near the docks, and it's not known for its friendliness. So most
Okay.
likely, if a group of nobles went there, they were kind of going there for to taste the lowlife.
They were slumming it.
They were slumming it.
So we need to put like a bag or something on Jet.
Yeah, you can try.
Or something.
To
Well-
cover up that great hair? That is a crime.
You guys. All right. Do you want to do
What,
any?
smudge some dirt on him?
Look. Okay, so we have some rough and tumble people. Well, you guys go in first, and we will maybe put hoods on or something and hang out.
Well, that's ridiculous. Well, I'll just go in there.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you travel to the docks. I assume some of this takes place while you're walking, and there's a bit of teasing Jet about how he stands out.
So we just made like 100 plus 5 gold or so?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm putting down my claim that he's totally been taken by cultists.
Are you guys going to have like an in-party bet? Is that what you're suggesting? Because I would.
I think that there is a rash of semi-attractive, gangly youths that are being snatched up for nefarious purposes.
I will.
I've got 2 gold pieces that said she's already been knocked up.
Maybe that's probably more likely. Anyway.
I would
I'm
bet half of my share of the 100 that we just got, not whatever we get later on, that it's actually true love and that they're actually just trying to live their lives.
I'll take that bet.
I will let you guys keep track of your bets.
Okay.
And I'll make sure to email Wizards of the Coast and be like, can there be more than tall, gangly youths? All right. So you guys make your way down to the docks. The tavern is in the basement of a dockside tall house, so people rent out the rooms above it. The entrance is at the bottom of a rickety set of moldering stairs. It's marked only by a salt-stained old boot. My thing just turned off. Nailed to a post at the top of the stairs. There's no other sign of what it is. And as you approach, the door swings open, and a laughing half-orc wearing sailor's homespun staggers up the stairs, and the scent of alcohol hits you like a physical blow. Blood trickles from various cuts on his face, and a knife protrudes from his shoulder. "Slow night," he mumbles to you before stumbling drunkenly down the road.
Okay.
Seems like my kind of place.
I clasp hands with him and I say, Mulmaster Navy represent!
No.
We share a moment.
You totally share a moment. So I assume all of you go inside?
Hell yeah.
Well, since he just came up, I was worried about those steps, but since he just came up, yeah, I'll go down the stairs.
Awesome. You open the door, and before you is a pretty sad little tavern. The ceilings are about 10 foot high, and a number of sconces holding sputtering candles hangs in the middle of the room, providing dim light throughout. It reeks of ale, wine, pipe smoke, salty water, and waterlogged wood. When you open the door, all sound stops, and everyone sitting around seems to stop and stare at you. Towards the back of the room is a bar with a kind of stout, short woman behind it who is cleaning a glass. She snorts, and the entire crowd turns away from you and back to their drinks. You hear muted laughter, the clinking of glass, wood chairs scraping the floor, and hushed whispering.
So this is now our second gangly youth and our second short, stout woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Mulmaster, they only make two kinds of people. They got your tall ganglies, and then you got your short stout.
I am a tall gangly. I wrote in 160 pounds and 6 feet on my character sheet before we started. So.
Yes,
And
you are tall and
comparatively, Luku is a short stout. See?
But see, a Noth is a tall stout. So,
Okay, maybe there's a wrench in the plans there.
So as everybody is quiet for a second, I shout out to the barkeep, a round of cheap ale for everybody.
Everybody cheers and clinks their glasses on the table. The bartender, she holds her hands out and everyone stops and pays attention to her. Of course, my friend, as long as you can pay for that.
Yeah, how much is it?
Let's say there's about 20 patrons, and it'll be 1 silver for every mug.
I
For
throw her.
cheap ale. Was that 2 gold pieces? 1 gold piece?
Does someone have the conversion up?
It's 2 GP.
Just
So you guys
a
want to pay that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll throw her 5.
Oh shit! She smiles, and after she starts filling mugs and gestures at a young woman who appears to be a half elf, short black hair, who begins distributing the beer. When then she gestures at you and pulls a different jug out from beneath the bar and rests it with a thud. Are you going to go over there?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you guys.
Sure.
oh yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting
yes.
we're getting the top under shelf stuff.
You are indeed. She smiles and pours out some beer for you that is a little thicker than what she's serving to the crowd. She lights a pipe, introduces herself as Ma, and kind of examines your gold for a second. Don't see a lot of this in here. It's very generous of you. How can I help you folk?
Unfortunately, we're here for business over pleasure. We're just looking for a friend of ours. He's ran away to marry one of your staff recently. What was his name? What was her name? I can't remember.
Sebastian and Helga.
Sebastian and Helga.
Hell.
You won't have to see them around.
Olga?
It might be Olga or Ilga. She has red spiky hair and is apparently
Super
thin
hot?
and somewhat comely.
She frowns around her pipe. You mean Ilva?
Ilva, yes.
Bilbo.
Yeah, I saw her with some young nobleman. I told her he was trouble.
Aren't all young noblemen?
Especially the gangly ones.
I know.
Well, she hasn't been up to work for a couple of days, and I mean that girl has changed. And then she leans into you guys and lowers her voice a little bit. When she first got here with the rest of the refugees, she was the best server you could ask for. Quiet, happy to serve, always with a smile. Then she came in one night with her hair cut short and bright red. It really does not become her. She also started missing shifts, and she's always hanging out with shady characters. But then the nobles came around looking for some fun, and I guess Ilva caught the eye of that Sebastian boy. He's been following her around like a lovesick puppy. And when she's not with him, sometimes she shows up to work just either exhausted or frantic, as if the Storm Lord himself was pent up inside her trying to get out. Oh, and Mixie is friends with her. She might know where she is now, because that girl, I'm this close to sacking her.
Do you mind if we take? Do you mind if we draw some of her attention for a little bit? Just have a little chat.
Oh yeah, that's fine. She can come talk to you guys.
Okay. So I guess we go talk to her.
Everybody should be pretty occupied for a little bit with that round. That was generous of you. Anybody else? Good? All right. If you guys wave, Mixie will come over.
Okay, I'll wait for over.
Okay. She is a young, half-elven woman with short dark hair and long fingernails stained a dark crimson red. She has several scars on her face and neck, and she wears a dagger at her hip. However, she smiles as she comes up to you and says, "Yes, good people. Is your ale okay? Is there something I can get you?"
I pull out some of my personal gold. I'm rolling it through my fingers.
She is totally mesmerized.
I say, I was really interested in your friend, Ilva. I rolled the coin.
She looks at your face, and when she does so, she goes a little pale, and she loses her smile. "I'm afraid I don't know her very well. Can I help you guys with your drinks?"
I pull out another gold coin. And I'm rolling 2 at my knuckles.
Drinks? Anything?
I'm also staring mesmerized at that. That's an awesome trait.
And she edges away from Jet.
It's
almost time for my break. If you don't need anything, I'll be going.
Actually, sir, can I... I mean, again, I don't need to get too inside baseball and everything. There's something in my background type stuff. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Bonds and flaws.
Mm-hmm.
My bond is, I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered, or the enemies, the cult of the eternal flame who dealt it. Apparently, I had an entire ship that was sort of capsized and burned by this sort of fire cult. Would I, just remembering the people that did this and everything, do they have similarly cut / styled and colored hair as Nixie is here?
I want you to give me a insight check.
Okay.
And then I will answer your questions. I'm actually really glad you brought that up. Was that good? What is this madness? All right. So, let's see here. I'm looking up one thing, and then I can tell you.
Okay. While that's happening, I'm going to excuse myself to the restroom, quotation marks, and then go try and find, like, a back exit or something.
Okay. Remind me of that in a moment. So, in fact, you looking at her, you realize 2 things. One, you recognize the scars and the way she walks as something that commonly happens to pirates. She has a scar on her cheek that it looks like someone started to carve a P in there, and maybe she's carved over it a little bit to hide it.
Oh, shit.
And just her scars, you're like, somebody has been on a ship fighting.
That's pretty hardcore.
And
what was
then,
the other thing?
the other thing is the people who capsized you, they did all cut their hair short and spiky and dye it red, and they would chant stuff. They chanted stuff about fire as they capsized your boat.
Okay, so I need to fight this woman. If any of you guys want to try and stop me, you're welcome to. But I'm going
Dark
to.
hair, I thought.
She does have dark hair. Although,
Oh, she does?
as you look at her, you can see glints of red, as if it was dyed red and she dyed black over it.
How do you? Okay. Wouldn't you just wash out the dye?
Not if it's permanent.
No, red
So-
dye is really, really hard to get out.
Okay.
I want to walk over to this woman. Yeah,
Well,
but-
before
I
you
wanna
do,
whisper
Jet. Sorry, I want to double check first.
Mhm.
So Luku, are you going to actually attack her right now?
I'm like about to, but if anyone that's why I was saying, if anyone wants to take an action before I do that, you're welcome to.
Okay. All of you notice Luku tensing and grabbing his mace in a way that seems to forebode some kind of violence on his part. So yes, Jet, please go ahead with what you're going to do.
I walk over to her, and I show her the coins in my hand, and my mouth goes to her ear, and my eyes dart over to my friend, and I say, he's going to split your skull to the teeth, and your tongue's going to flap around like tentacles out of the hole in your throat. I suggest you cooperate now. And I want to intimidate her.
Okay, give me an intimidate check.
Oh man.
Oh! That's going to be really bad.
Oh
That's
no.
okay. Yeah. All right.
But that was such a good line, though. That was
It
like
Wasn't
the
that
best
amazing?
line. That
Well,
was
she is
the
a
line
former
of
pirate.
lines.
She's a former pirate. She's
Gotta-
probably heard like worse than that every day.
Gonna split your skull to the teeth, like your tongue.
So that was a
I'm
great
slightly
line.
intimidated by that.
So what she does in response is she shoves her platter for drinks into your face. So I would like you to actually roll either your strength or your dex for athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you have that's higher.
Sure. This is for me, right?
Yeah.
You got it. Alright, so I have a 12.
Okay. She pushes the drink platter in your face and shoves you back onto the table with your friends. Mixie takes off for the front of the tavern, and you see 6 guys rise up drawing weapons like, hey, why are you fucking with Mixie?
Can I take an action? 'Cause
I was going to have you guys roll initiative.
Okay.
But you were preparing an action. I think this might still have taken you by surprise that she reacted so violently. Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's roll initiative, whoever did not roll it last time.
I have a plus
I'm
3
pretty
for
high.
my initiative if you guys want me to do it.
I have a +2, so you go, I guess. Who rolled last time?
Beerbarian.
So I have a 19 plus 3.
Okay. You guys do get the drop on them. Let's so we've got 6 guys.
I want to
We're
shoot her in the
arrayed
back.
About.
We might,
They're all
we might need to
facing
question
you.
her.
I'm shooting her in the back.
Oh, you're shooting her in the back. Okay.
So if she can't see me, she's blind to the attack. That means I roll with advantage, right?
Yes.
Oh, she's going down.
Let's see. There's that. It's like you took your rejection personally. Let's see.
So that's going to be a 15 to hit with a 8 damage if it does hit.
It does hit, and Mixie screams and falls to her knees.
And I say, on your knees now!
Surely we are a party of discretion.
All right.
Time for discretion is over.
Yeah.
So let's go to our barbarian. What do you do?
He snuck off to the back.
Oh, that's right. You're out there. You found a doorway to an alley, and you hear someone scream from the front of the place. What do you do?
I'm just gonna kind of hang there at the alleyway just to make sure nobody comes running out the back or in the back.
You're in a fight in a bar, and you're gonna hang out in the alley. All right. I'm disappointed in you, barbarian. Next up, we have Anath. What are you gonna do?
Does it look like Mixie's going anywhere?
She is still crawling towards the door, and the 6 guys have drawn scimitars.
Okay. Are they between me and her and the
Oh,
door?
yes, yes.
I am going to pull out my maul, and I'm going to act like a battering ram to get really low, and I'm just going to try to, like, part right through them
Okay.
so I can land on her and make sure she doesn't go anywhere.
So it sounds like you want to shove them out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your an athletic check for me, and let's say you have to get past 2 of them.
Okay. Ooh, I got an 11.
You beat them both. They both get knocked down away from you, and because the tavern's pretty small, you kind of rush up to Mixie, although you're not quite on top of her yet.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So next up, we have Mara. What do you want to do?
Gonna look at the furthest guy to me, and I'm going to say, are you really gonna defend people that work in a place like this? I mean, they've got to have standards.
They go to a place like this.
Yeah.
This is their place. This is like their Cheers.
I'm insulting him.
Is
Oh.
that a wisdom?
Yeah, it's a wisdom
throw?
save.
All right. And he does not make it. How much damage does he take?
He
You hurt his
takes-
feelings.
Yes, he's like, oh no! He takes 6 damage. Or no, he takes 7 damage, and then he has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
You hurt me in the feelings.
Right in the feelings
My
part.
heart.
All right. Next up is Usara. What do you want to do?
I am going to discreetly excuse myself back toward the alleyway. I want no part of this. I'm going to I want to go fetch. I want to go fetch our barbarian.
Okay.
Let him go handle that.
Excellent. You guys hear the crashing of people falling down and more screams as all of this is going on. So that brings us to let's see, our cleric.
Yeah. I take a look around. Does it look like most of the people here, like the guys that rose up and everything, do they look like sailors?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a cantrip called Shape Water. And all of these guys have like the new ales that were poured and everything.
Which
Does
are
ale count as water?
here it does.
I'd say this fail does.
Is it close to
It's probably closer to water than it is to ale.
Well, all
Just
this is
going.
true. I do agree. Does the spell say anything specifically about that?
So, Shape Water. You choose an area of water that you can see within range and that fits within a 5-foot cube. You manipulate it in one of the following ways, and it says that I can either like cause it to move around, I can cause it to change color or consistency, or I can freeze it.
Okay.
I would like to, if I can, I want to sort of like bang on a table and cause like the biggest thing of ale to sort of splash up into a huge cascade, and I want to shout at them and appeal to their maybe sailor's honor.
I'm sorry. Okay. You can do this. It will only affect a few glasses on the closest table.
Yeah,
That
I
5
just
foot
want it to be like visible and in the air, so it's like, whoa, what's that?
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. So I bang on it, the ale goes whooshoom, out there, and then I sort of like roll up the sleeve, and I show like the big sailor tattoo, and I say, "Men of the sea, this person." It's like I say the name of my ship, and I say all of the names of the men that had died because of the flame cultists. Everything, Luzu and Gata and Chauncey, all of them were laid low and left to the waves because of these flame cultists. And she may be one of them. You must stand down and let us question her, and then we will leave. And if she is forthright with us, we will not harm her. Mostly.
More than she is now.
Yeah, more than she is now.
That's really funny. So I would like you to do a persuasion check.
Oh,
I'm
good.
going to. No, I can't. Never mind.
So this is bad because I should have, looked at my sheet a little more before I decided to do my base with my -1 modifier.
Maybe you'll roll really good.
Maybe. So that's 19 on the die. So
Look
that's
at
18.
that! Look at that!
Nice.
You made it! You made it. All right. They all kind of stop and look at you and start muttering to each other. In the front of the room, Mixie, who I believe by now is probably under the weight of the Goliath, screams out, "I'm not part of the cult! Don't kill me!"
But you know that there's a cult, and you know of them.
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to continue to fight?
Well, if they're standing down, no.
I just want to restrain her so we can ask her more questions.
She's crying.
I give her a hug.
She cries more.
That's actually a grapple.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So good.
Do you want to mechanically grapple her?
No, I'm essentially sitting down on the ground with kind of just my arms around her. So she's not going anywhere, but
Okay.
And I will whisper in her ear, "I'll protect you from the pretty mean one."
All right.
If that makes her feel any better.
It does a little, because she is wounded. She hurts. She asks that you take her to her apartment. It is above the bar. And she says she'll be happy to talk to you guys. As long as you don't kill her. Because please don't kill her. I sank no ships. I am part of no cult.
Okay.
Somebody
I'm
bet
disappointed.
that a cult was involved.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that for sure yet. We don't know that for sure.
So once you're in Mixie's apartment, which is one small room and very shabby, she is still crying, and she still took quite a bit of damage.
It was 8 damage.
Yeah. She looks really bad. In fact, she looks like she might pass out from blood loss.
I think if I find my way up there, I'll give her that potion of healing.
What?
That's nice.
No.
I agree with this action.
I've already uncorked it. And
I move when I say, as a cleric, I am obligated to heal her, but I really don't want to.
Well, that's
Well,
okay,
there you
because
go.
your friend used the potion on her. So that
Grah.
then
All right,
Are we
this
listed
guy.
in here
You
easily?
have.
And while
Here you go.
while
Here,
she's
this will
drinking
make
the
it better.
potion and is distracted, I will push the arrow the rest of the way through.
what?
That's how you get arrows out. Did it go all the way through? Was it stuck in her, or did it go all the way through her?
It was stuck in her.
Yeah.
So in between the cleric and the fighter, there's a lot of screaming and crying, but Mixie looks better after you're done. She's still weepy, and she gives Jet a really dirty look.
I just look at her and smile in the most sadistic way possible.
Okay, now you're creepy.
Oh, damn.
So she does begin to tell you, however, that she confirms what Ma said. Ilva was very quiet, kind, and shy when she first came here. But then one day she came to work much more animated than I've ever seen her before. She said something changed her life, that this dwarf spoke to her about how she could get everything she wanted in life, and she insisted that I come with her the next time the dwarf was speaking. So we went to this shack in the Zent ghetto, and we sat with everyone else. This dwarf with flaming red hair and a red beard came into the shack and talked to us about the fire within all people and how to use that fire to get what you want, how to use your passions to make your life better. It kind of drew me in, and I started going to his talks regularly. We cut our hair and dyed it red to show our support and to show our new and true selves. But then one day we went to this special meeting for the most loyal followers, and it was a different kind of talk. It was really intense. There was chanting and dancing, and the room was really hot. I had this vision of the entire building engulfed in flames, and the dwarf transformed into some sort of creature made out of fire, and it scared me so badly I never went back. Ilva was very mad at me when I wouldn't go with her anymore, and she told me if I told anyone about it, she was afraid the dwarf would shut me up in a rather permanent way. But she found Sebastian, and he started going with her to the meeting, so she pretty much left me alone. They're probably at that shack, and you'll recognize it by the bright red door. And that's about all I know.
What races are involved? What races go to the meetings?
All races. The main guy is a dwarf, and his friends are dwarves, but it was me and Ilva's human. A bunch of different people were there.
You got any more red hair dye?
I threw it all out after I decided not to go back.
Could we procure red hair dye quickly enough that we could, dye all our hairs?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, there's the shop at the corner sells some cheap henna.
Oh, sorry, Ben, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic's down. My hair's already red. Does that count?
This is a really bright, unnatural, like manic panic kind of red.
I look at her and I say, I wonder if blood can dye your hair.
What are you doing?
He's being super creepy.
No, I clap him on the shoulder and I say, he knows the score.
Okay.
Jet's with it. He knows what's up.
Well, I definitely encourage role playing. May I ask what your alignment is, Jet?
It's chaotic good.
Okay. All right. Just keep it in mind. And so she frowns at you and asks you all to leave so she can rest.
Okay.
So the locals are familiar with the Zent ghetto, so you can probably find your way there. But what do you guys want to do now?
Do we want to try the red hair dye trick? Would it? Okay. So again, I don't want to metagame too much here. Because like the flame cultists, like I had a huge run-in with them in the past. Is it conceivable that I would remember any kind of like hand signal or like identifier that they might do?
No, I'm afraid not. Especially if they capsized your ship. I mean, you probably weren't thinking about that at the time.
No, I was too busy getting capsized.
I don't know. Worshipping fire beings sounds good to me.
Of course it does.
I say we just kick down the door and grab what's-his-face and drag him off.
I want to talk to what's her name too, because I still am not convinced that it's not true love, because you never know. They could have just both fallen in with this cult.
Okay. So you guys, it sounds like you guys want to go to the shack.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So she gives you some pretty basic directions and reminds you that she thinks Ilva is pretty good at heart, and it would be a shame if anything happened to her. So you follow her directions and arrive at the shack where you believe the strange dwarf has been preaching. It has a red door and is a simple one-story square building, 30 feet to a side, made of pine clapboards, and the only opening is the red painted door. You smell burning pitch and smoke, and you can hear chanting and fevered yelling over the crackling of fire. It is full night right now. So flickering firelight peeks out between the loose planks of this small shack, and from within a dozen or so voices speak in low murmurs, and you can hear a deep, booming voice rising above all of them. There are two dwarves with bright red beards leaning casually up against the wall. They notice your approach and stand up straight. Sod off. This is a private affair. What do you guys want to do?
Well, my friends, we were actually invited. I'm the entertainment for the night. I've come to help aid in the chants with music and livery.
So it sounds like you're trying to persuade them.
I am.
So go ahead and roll that.
18 plus... Where is my persuasion? 5, so... That's what? That's 13, 23? Yeah.
How are you guys getting these saves? What the hell? All right, let me think here.
He does already have semi-red hair.
That's true. And you do have a fire dude with you.
Yeah, I was about to say, Chris is fiery dude.
Do you have fire hair?
I'm the heat miser. We have red skin and reddish orange hair.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
So they kind of frown at each other, and they're like, he didn't tell us about that, but okay, you guys can stand at the door. And they open the door to let you see inside. As they open the door, you hear screams and shouts from within.
Oh, good.
And the scent of smoke gets stronger.
So we gotta go in there.
I love that.
As you look in, you just see chaos as people are panicking and running away as the entire room is engulfed in flame. Timbers are
a real good time.
Yeah, timbers are falling from the ceiling, and you do see a young man matching Sebastian's description, struck by a burning support beam. He's pinned to the ground, and next to him, a woman matching Ilva's description, pretty short red hair, screams, tries to hoist the beam that's pinning him down, and cries out for help.
I would like to rush in there and help her.
Yeah.
Okay.
We rush in.
Into lift.
Out of the way, dwarves.
Does everyone rush in?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
going to hit one of these dwarves.
Why?
Because otherwise they're going to come in after you.
That sounds like you're trying to surprise them. And I think it's going to work.
I don't see really any indication of that the guards would like rush in after.
Sorry.
Okay.
So you do surprise them by wanting to attack them. So you can go ahead and hit. The rest of you run inside, and I want at most 2 people can work on the beam.
Okay.
Can I get...
I'm pretty strong, and someone
Is
else.
this an athletics roll?
So the 2 people who are going to help with the beam, if you'll do an athletics roll, and I'll be right back with you guys. I'm going to see what Miles got.
I missed.
What'd you roll them?
Less than a 10. I got a 2.
Okay. So you swing at him, and he looks surprised, and as he turns to look at you, his beard bursts into flame. But he seems okay with that.
Oh, good.
Now inside, I know that Anoth wanted to start working on the beam. Who's helping her?
I am.
Okay.
I'm going to play an awesome driving melody to aid them, so they get advantage.
Well, the help gives advantage anyway.
Okay.
So Amanda.
That's what I'm doing to help, because I don't actually have a skill that does that per se, but that's my description of me helping.
Cool.
Okay.
Because I have weak, tiny muscles.
Amanda, if you want to roll 2d20, you'll take the higher number
Okay.
since you have an advantage.
Okay, so that would be 19. Oh, wow, okay. That's even higher. That is a 22. Well, I got a 19 and a 22, so it's not...
All right. You basically pick up the beam with one hand and throw it off him.
I would like to try to grab the man and put him on my shoulder, and I want to prepare to run him out of here.
Okay, you can totally do that. Is anyone else taking any actions?
I'm going to try and escort Ivor out of here to make sure she gets out too.
You are playing your lute.
Okay, I thought that's at the same time. I thought it was after. Okay.
Are there any other? Are there any other dopes caught in a bad situation?
No, it looks like most everybody else is able to get out okay.
All right.
I look for the guy with the reddest hair or the fieriest beard. Is there any kind of person that looks like they're in charge?
You do not see anyone who looks like they're in charge, and most of the room is now empty. Back at the entrance, though, your barbarian is back there with two dwarves, and they both now have beards made out of fire. So back at the door, because you can all begin to move back at the door at this point. At the door, the two dwarves are like, "Motherfucker, did you just hit me?" And they're going to attack your barbarian. All right, and they're both going to miss. So everybody's mad and swinging at each other, but there's so much sparks and dust and smoke in the air. You're not doing a very good job of hurting each other. So I will let you attack back, and then everybody else can show up and join in on the fun.
Okay. Still no good.
Okay.
That was a 9.
It's the smoke in your eyes, man. All right.
Does Ilva's hair look like it's about to burst into flame?
No, it looks like a really bad dye job.
Okay.
And she will follow immediately, Jet, whenever you pick up Sebastian. She's holding onto his hand and telling him he's going to be okay.
Told you it was going to be true love.
For the duration, I just want to go on the dodge, and I want to do my best to just try to get out of the door with him.
Okay. The dwarves won't pay any attention to you because they really want to murder Sang Lun. The rest of you are now at the door. So let's go ahead and do initiative, and then we'll see what everybody does.
Okay.
I'm rolling. I got high. 18?
You guys win initiative. So, Sang Lun, you already went, so if you're cool with it, I'm going to go to... Let's go back the other way. Jet,
Perfect.
What are you doing?
If at all possible, I want to leave out of this establishment and try to take this man to his father.
Okay.
No.
You can make it out of the building. You're on the street. Your friends are kind of arrayed behind you, and Ilva is just running beside you holding his hand. So I'll keep track of how far you get. Next up, Luku. What you doing?
Okay, does it look like I recognize any of the dwarves?
You don't think you recognize them, but man, that fiery hair, it is tugging at something in your mind.
So I'm going to get a little, if I can, I'm going to get a little, about 10 feet or so away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to fire a spell at one of them.
Please do.
Guiding bolt. So plus 5 to hit.
Okay. Do you want to shoot at the one that's closest to the barbarian, or do you want to shoot the one who hasn't engaged him yet?
The one who hasn't engaged him yet.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. All right. So that is with plus 5, 17 versus AC.
That hits.
Okay. Oh, jeez. So let's put on. That is 18 points of radiant damage.
Whoa.
Okay, so he, let's see. What
It
did you...
also, so the next person to attack that guy, because guiding bolts blast with a whole bunch of like shimmering water droplets, it gives the next person to attack that person advantage.
Good to know. All right, so 18 points of damage. What does your spell look like?
It's all my stuff is sort of water themed. It's like a cascade of like shimmering. It's like a Sailor Mercury blast a person.
So you see that hit the far dwarf and actually knocks him back into the burning building. And he's flat on his back for a little bit and seems dazed. You definitely hurt him.
Cool.
Next up is our wizard, Uzara. What do you want to do?
Okay. So the people have pretty much left the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And all right. What I'd like to do then is actually, who's after me in initiative? I don't want to damage any of our party members.
Next up will be Mara.
Okay. Can I go after Mara?
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to hold your action, you can totally do that.
Yeah, I'll hold my action.
Mara, what do you want to do?
Okay, so you're like actively trying to walk him back to his house right now?
Jet
guy?
is on the street running away with the guy over his shoulders. Ilva is with him.
I'd rather like talk to them before bring them back to his house.
So you want to go up and stop Jet?
I guess I like ask him just to wait up.
Okay. Jet, are you going to listen to him or are you going to stop?
Yeah, I will wait up for him. I just want to get him far enough away from this burning building so he's not going to be killed.
What are the buildings around look like? Like, is there like a bar or something across the street we could like burst into the door and like start doing healing or something?
Pretty much everything around you is like residential shacks. It's described as being part of the ghetto. So the area that you're in, that shack acted as kind of a church, and everything around it is private homes. You can move off the main road in the behind one of the buildings so that you're not in immediate danger. And you're out of sight.
I'll just ask him to go around the corner and put him down into like the edge of an alley. And then how far away would I be from the fight if I'm just at the corner now?
Let's say you're about 30 feet away.
Okay, and so I'm just going to like poke my head around the corner and shout at the closest dwarf. I was like, I'm running on adrenaline here, so I don't have a good time to think of a good insult. So I'm like, hey, your beard looks dumb. Roll a wisdom save.
Does Vicious Mockery have a line of sight or anything on it?
I think they have to be able to hear me.
I'm going to have to say that's probably not likely because one of them is now in the building and the other one's actively engaged in combat and they're kind of surrounded by fire and
Okay, so just get drowned out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
all right.
That's my turn, I guess.
Let's go back to Azara. What do you want to do?
Okay, so by the door then we have our Berberian and one awake dwarf with a flaming beard, and then inside the building we have a sleeping.
He's not asleep. He was knocked down.
Knocked down. Okay.
But he looks like he's getting back up.
Okay. I want to cast a sleep spell against the target.
Okay.
All right. I have to roll this like 4 times. 6, 8, 5, that's 19, and 25 hit points, starting with the lowest hit point creature within 20 feet of him. So 25 hit points worth of creatures fall asleep.
Now, the sleep spell, is it a circular effect around you?
Says, I believe, 20 feet of a point I choose within the range, which is 90 feet. So
okay.
20 feet within him.
So you can. So the dwarf on the ground stops trying to get back up, and you hear him start snoring.
Okay.
Now he is in a burning building. Of course, his beard's on fire.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about him.
Well, if it collapses on him.
I think that's more likely to hurt him than the damage from the fire.
So the question is whether or not you get Sang Lun in the range of the sleep spell.
14 hit points.
So really, it's up to whether or not he has lower hit points than the guy he's fighting.
He does. So Sang Lun kind of sags back and leans against the wall and starts sliding down the wall.
Oops.
That's cool.
I appreciate everyone's honesty. It's so nice. And then you make your cohorts fall asleep. Awesome. All right. Let's go to Anoth. What are you doing?
So, there's one dwarf who's now asleep inside. There's the one dwarf who is fighting. He's still awake?
He's still awake, and in fact, he's cackling as he regards your friend that's about to fall asleep.
You gotta murder him.
He will murder him.
Okay, I will,
Murder.
I will totally use
The hurt on him?
my maul as a giant cricket bat, because he's low to the ground.
He is, and he's kind
I'm
of
gonna act like he's like a cricket
round.
ball.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And take
I like
a
the
swing.
sports.
Now, is this the guy who has the glowy, glittery stuff?
Or are you attacking the one on the ground that's asleep?
No, I'm attacking the one outside the door. He didn't have anything.
The guy who's asleep you have advantage on.
Alright, I got a 19.
That is a hit. Roll me some damage.
Alright.
And luckily, that will attract him away from your sleeping friend.
10 damage.
All right. So the dwarf turns around, looks at you, and since everybody has gone, he will do something really terrible.
Fire does not scare me, little man.
I yell at him. Rah!
He raises a cross or a mace and yells in your face. And he misses both.
He yells in my knee.
He yells at your knee. He misses both times. He kind of flails, but all it does is just kind of scrape across your. I assume you're wearing armor.
Yeah, chainmail.
It scrapes off. It kind of the chainmail deflects it a little bit, which seems to make him even madder. And like now his beard is more fiery, and he's just this little short guy hopping around. He's so mad. So that brings us. So Sang Lun is asleep. So sleepy. So that brings us back to Jet,
All right,
which
so-
I'll have you and Mara go together since you two are interacting with each other right there.
Oh, perfect. I would like to set the Sebastian down now that we're in the around the corner. And if he's still incapacitated, I will turn to the girl who she's still there with him, and I would say, "It seems like you really care for this man.
Oh,
And if
yes,
you do,
yes.
Please try to attend to his wounds. I have to run back into this burning building and help my friends.
Okay.
But please keep him from safety. Please keep him safe." And with that, I will set him down as gently as possible, like you lay down an animal that's hurt, and I will make off with as much haste as possible.
Okay. Are you going
Run back into the
to
burning building.
Are you going to dash, or are you just going to make your normal movement?
Do I need to dash to get there?
Let's see. If you dash, you can't do anything else. Your normal movement is 30 feet, so you'll be able to get there and make an attack.
Then that's what I would like to do. I would like to take while I'm running, like I'm just, and I'm pulling off my bow, grabbing an arrow, and as I turn the corner, look at the doorway, if I see the door.
Okay, you definitely don't have to go all 30 feet to shoot your bow.
Just since we're acting at the same time, just before
I
he
will
leaves,
get to you in just a moment. Sorry.
I just want to give him a buff so that I'm going to give him one of my bardic inspiration dice, if that's okay.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so like I'll say a quick poem or something about being cool and stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
There once was a man with a bow.
Yeah,
He
so
never fired low.
that's
You need to fire low, it's a dwarf.
That's a d6 that you can add to an attack roll. You can either use it before you roll or after, but not before the DM declares whether it hits or not.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my roll before I roll, and let's see
I'm
what
gonna roll a
happens.
20 now.
So you don't have to go all 30 feet.
Oh,
That's a
Oh,
5
I didn't even see what it was.
7
1.
plus 4.
So you don't have to go all 30 feet before you shoot. So
Kitty.
you are capable of moving, shooting, and then moving again. Now, what was the total that you got from your roll?
Well, I rolled a natural 1. But I had the
Okay.
bardic inspiration with the
And so it
4.
became a 5. All right.
Plus 7.
So you
So that would
shoot
be 12 to hit.
12 to hit. Okay, see, that's what I needed to know. All right. Are you shooting at the one that is engaging Anoth, or are you shooting at the one that's laying on the ground asleep?
I think that the flames would be a little bit too high on the floor for me to see the man on the who's sleeping. So I would be shooting at the one standing up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Sure, I already did. It's a 4 plus 3 for 7.
7 points of damage. So he's dancing around in front of Anoth, and an arrow comes out and takes him right in one shoulder, and he yells. It obviously hurt him badly. All right, now.
If I was able to keep running, would I be able to make it to my friend who's sleeping?
No, that's more than 30 feet.
Okay.
So you're able to, if you want to, you can close the distance and come up in the same area as your friends.
Perfect. That's what I would try to do.
All right. Mara, why don't you go ahead, since you guys were in the same area? You gave Bardic Inspiration, so that was your action?
That's my action, yeah.
Bardic Inspiration. Hold on, Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action.
It is? Okay, neat. So
Awesome.
I'm going to
Thank you.
stay where I am and make sure that these two lovebirds, like, she actually is starting to heal him, and they stay there. And then I'm going to take my crossbow and fire it at the same guy that he just fired at.
Okay, you can either attend to Sebastian and Ilva, or you can attack.
Well, I'm just, like, keeping an eye on them out of the corner of my eye. I'm not, like,
you can only do one
watching
or the
them.
other.
Okay. So I'll make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, I guess, then.
Okay. The only thing Ilva is doing is petting the Sebastian's hand and saying, "Please don't die. Please don't die."
Don't let her get away. She's not to be trusted.
So Sebastian is stable. So the only way to attend to him is if you have a healing kit, magical healing, or a potion. Otherwise, he's stable and there's not much you can do for him.
Okay.
Do you have any of those things?
No.
Okay. So you're taking care of them.
Yeah, I guess next turn I'll shoot at them, but that's next turn.
Okay, so that brings us up to Luku. What do you want to do?
Can I run into the fire and grab the sleeping guy by his ankles and drag him out?
You most certainly can. And you might even get some good karma for not letting him burn alive.
No, I'm gonna beat him to death.
Okay, that's more like it. So
no, I'm not. He can't die from a fire. No, I'm gonna drown him in a bucket.
Awesome.
Well, you can run in, grab him, and pull him out, but you can't begin beating him till next turn. Although if somebody else wants to help you, I'm not going to judge.
The whole time.
You're what?
I'm just grumbling the whole time.
It will wake him up as soon as you do anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to our cleric, our magic user. What do you want to do?
Okay, can I get over to where our sleeping barbarian is?
Yeah.
Okay, can I also assume that he's got a bottle or a wineskin or something that I could just grab open and pour on his face?
I don't know.
A couple of them.
Of course.
Is
Well
that
prepared.
flammable?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to wake him up.
Awesome. So that will be your action for this round, and you can both attack next round.
Sounds good.
If there's this gurgling noise, and you see Uzara pouring beer over Senglun, who I assume, without even opening his eyes, opens his mouth, as in, yes, more. Because I would assume nothing less. All right, that brings us to Anoth. So you see that Luca has pulled the sleeping dwarf out of the fire with an obvious murderous glint in his eye. And then you've got the angry guy hopping around in front of you who's damaged. What do you want to do?
I'm going to use this little angry guy for target practice. I think I'm going to try to hammer him into the ground.
That's so terrible. Please do that. So that's just a regular attack roll.
So I'm going to tell him in Dwarven as I'm doing this. I say, when you're as big as I am, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
Oh!
And I got 23.
23? I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for saying that, because that was fantastic. So you can use that later.
All right, and it's 11 points of damage.
Oh, he does not actually go into the ground like a nail, but he is now flat. So, yeah. All dead. Luca, I'm going to assume you're going to kill the sleeping dwarf as horribly as possible.
I can't. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna hurt him. Like I can't not. The thing is, I can't not attack him. Like my flaw is my hatred of my enemies, the cult of the eternal flame, is blind and unreasoning.
Okay.
So I can't be rational with this guy. I need to hurt him.
Got it. So unless anybody else stops you, we're going to assume that you kill him, and it's bloody and it's terrible, and it kind of gives your friends some nightmares for a couple of days.
I would actually be like, we can torture him. It might make you feel better.
Wait, you guys, see, here's the thing. Like, I wholeheartedly encourage any of you to, like, grab my fist and stop me from, taking that final blow. Because we could get information out of him, but I can't do that myself.
I let you beat on him a few times, and when you're coming in for the final, I'll...
If I can use if I use my second spell slot for sleep, am I at risk of putting? Is anyone close enough where I would put them to sleep beside my cleric?
They would have to move out of the way.
All right, so I don't know if I can yell "clear back" before I cast the spell, and anyone would have a chance to clear back.
Let's say yes, because everyone except for Mara, who is with Sebastian Ilva, is watching the cleric do this.
So I will yell for everyone else to stand back, and then I'll cast sleep on our cleric.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, are you casting sleep on just me?
6. Well, you're the target.
Well, can you not target both of us? Because he could still try and fight.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay, well.
Well, it's everyone within a radius, right?
Yeah,
12. 16. It starts with the lowest hit point creature in the radius, and then it goes to the next lowest and the next lowest. And it's 15 points.
Let's see. So 15 points definitely puts the cleric to sleep.
Yeah.
And let's say you've done... Let's see. Were you using your fists or were you using your weapon?
No, I'm just, fists.
Okay.
It's like, this is for Luzu, and this is for Gutta, and this is for Chauncey, and blah. And I guess I fall over.
Yeah, he still has a few too many hit die to fall asleep. So
Really, even after that huge
So
spell
you
that I
woke
hit
him
with?
up. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Kyle?
Even after that huge spell that I hit him with?
Yeah. These guys are pretty tough. Yeah.
Right.
So, he can't talk. His jaw is broken. He's bruised and bloodied. He's almost he's like a pummeled little bit of dwarf on the pavement.
I would heal him, but I'm asleep.
So as Luca slumps in sleep, actually the soldiery shows up. And so they're not the City Watch. They're actually the better version of the City Watch. They're kind of like private police force. Mm-hmm. And they quickly take everything over, and they come. One of a very short, round man in armor comes over to you and says, "Is this the bastard who started the fire?" And he kicks the dwarf that's laying there.
Yes.
All right, we will take care of this. We will take care of this. You should go home, citizens. It's not safe.
Okay.
So we're gonna, I guess, take the two. I always forget, Sebastian and Ilva. I guess we take them to the closest friendly inn to like talk to them and like heal up Sebastian? Anyone have like
Okay,
complaints?
so
I think we
all
could
of
just
you
take him
wanna
to his
leave?
dad.
Yeah, we'll wake up Luku.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before you get to what you're deciding with Sebastian, so you all kind of gather together. Sebastian, Ilva is she's still patting his hand, and Sebastian is okay. Like I said, he's just unconscious. So as you're all together, the bells begin ringing, and you realize it's almost morning because this has been a very long night of fire and fighting. You have enough time that you can get him to his father's house now if you want to take him there.
We
Talk
should.
to
It's
Ilva
100
quick.
gold.
Like if Ilva can come up with like a better reason why we shouldn't, like ask her super quick, and if she can't, we take her to, church bells or whatever.
Okay. Ilva thanks you for saving the life of her lover. She says she knows that his father won't let them be together, but now she doesn't really know what to do now that the cult is kind of seems bad. Super bad. And she's like, I guess I will just go back to my room and go back to serving. I had dreams, but... And she will give you a potion, a vial filled with an icy blue liquid that she says the dwarf once gave her. She doesn't know what it does, but she's like, after everything I saw tonight, I don't feel comfortable keeping it.
I don't know. What do we do, guys? Do we let true love happen, or are we going to be stern and get our money?
I think we should get her money.
I say true love.
She gave up on her true
love.
love way too easily.
I don't know if that's what she was doing. I was about to ask, what about Sebastian?
If it's true love, we can't stop it. So let's just take him home.
I don't have to say it. I'm still asleep. So.
Well, they've woken you up by this point.
Yeah.
Oh, am I awake?
Yeah.
Oh, here's, and you guys would have known this, because, like, I will want to, like, question her further, because I need to know more about flame cultists.
The cult.
If you think that will just impede everything, maybe don't wake me up.
Can you heal Sebastian so we can...
I can do that, but...
Maybe
Alright,
we
so
should
yeah, I
question
guess, okay,
Sebastian.
Alright, I heal Sebastian.
Okay. Sebastian wakes up. He seems kind of confused, and gains his feet and kind of shakes himself off.
Hey, so we were hired by your dad to... were you talking? I thought you...
No, he's just kind of staring at you all like, what the hell?
Okay. So we were hired by your father to bring you back to him by force, if necessary, but why did you run away in the first place? What's going on here? Give us the spiel about your love or whatever.
So Sebastian kind of kicks at the stones at his feet and looks guilty. He looks at Ilva. Well, I don't like him telling me what to do, and I'm not like ready to settle down and get married. I don't know what he expected from me.
You do realize that eventually he'll get old, and then you'll be able to tell him what to do. And that'll be lots of fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to just like wait it out and stay away from him as much as I can unless I have to. I'm sorry that he bothered you with all this trouble.
So I'm going to swat this kid upside the head and go, I had money riding on this being true love. You idiot. You're going back to your dad.
He rubs his head and looks kind of embarrassed.
Okay, yeah. So let's drag him back to his dad quick before
Did you at
we
least
don't get
knock
money.
her up?
Perfect.
Sorry, what?
I asked if he at least knocked her up.
No, sorry.
Ah, darn it. They're gonna...
I loved your guys' theories. All right. So you're able to take him back to the Stowe estate, his family estate, and the guards at the gate take possession of Sebastian. They pay you the remaining 100 gold pieces. And one of the guards is wearing a insignia that shows he is a member of the Lord's Alliance. And he tells you that the Lord's Alliance remembers those who serve their masters well. Ilva had left and gone back to her room, and a rooster crows, letting you know that you have been out fighting all night, and now you have to go back to work at the party. Lame! Totally lame. All right. Well, you guys.
Well, it's nice to still have a job.
Yeah, that's true. If you go to it, but.
Let's just take the day, guys. They can serve their own turkey legs. They can, clean their own doilies. Let's take a day.
And
you got
enjoy
some
yourself.
nice sleep already.
I need to be there to light the cherries flambe. So
Highly doubt any of them are good enough to play their own musical instruments.
the flaming mows.
That's
Flaming
too
mows.
funny. All right. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast now. I do want to thank our viewers, and I want to thank you guys for playing. You were very great. Had a good
Thank
time,
you.
and I hope you guys enjoyed playing D&D. There is at least one last game in the ConTessa Spring Break weekend, so go check out contessa.rocks to see our schedule. And say goodbye to the internet.
All right, goodbye,
You'll get
Internet.
back to us about
Bye.
like our